Eventually.
Alrighty then. Am I recording?
Alright.
I think I am. Alright then, guys. So, welcome back. Last we played, you had begun your infiltration and destruction of the city of Brightopolis, run by one genius wizard named Garland Brighthand. In order to actually bring destruction, doom, and death to this city, you needed to destroy 4 power plants around the city in order to infiltrate his main factory in the center to kill him and lower the force field bubble around the city that protects it from all manner of attack. You did so. As Mav infiltrated one of the power plants on his own, you had teams sent to each of them, including Corlox the Betrayer, Katha and Vondis, and 2 of the prisoners that you found, Clyde and Sam. Each of them destroying, seemed to simultaneously destroy their power plants, as Mav destroyed his. However, upon infiltrating, Mav ran into an unexpected enemy, one of the champions of Astrid, one Dr. Beatrice Trice, who, instead of attacking, more just asked a bunch of weird questions and planted some seeds of doubt, I should say, in Mav's mind, as well as offer them weird offers. But in the end, Mav flipped this champion the bird and essentially set fire to the entire place, destroying the coolant system for the power plant and sending it into overheat, which is destroying it pretty perfectly. At the same time, Alex had led a group of goblins into the city, run by Sneak. They all entered the city and began planting bombs in a lot of the guard barracks and guard stations of the city. And as the power plants were exploding, there was a moment where we believed the bombs would not go off, and then I believe they did. So, that is... We can't hear you, Alex, if you're speaking. Okay. Okay, understood. So, at that moment, Alex decided to enter the city with his group of goblins armed with guns and bombs and ready to wreak havoc on the city. The plan being to distract the enemies and the forces of Brightopolis and get them to focus on him while the rest of the team, being Oestre and Astrid, move in with their own army, the small army of pissed off humans let loose from the prison, a couple of fucking demonic entities, and all kinds of nasty zombies, as well as more recently 2 huge tribes of gnolls that seem to be battling it out in the mountain ranges not far from the city, and seem to be in the process of being wiped out by Brightopolis forces, or at least engaged in.
What are their names?
So the one is the Bone Splitters, I believe. I don't have the paper with me because my life is a sham.
The Bone Splitters and the Mouth Kissers.
It's not. Nope, don't say that.
No, I dominated the 2 of them. Do you remember the 2 gnolls? What their names were?
One is Thrish.
So Amanda can change the name of the tribe.
And the other motherfucker. I don't have a piece of paper.
It's okay.
There's so much shit on this table.
The mouth washers.
And it makes me want to punch a baby in the face.
Sorry.
Where is it?
I don't know.
I will find it.
Don't.
I will.
Okay.
But I know that the one tribe is called the Gnashers, and the other tribe is called the Bone Splitters, I believe.
I can retcon it later. It's okay. I can fix my notes later. It's alrighty.
Here's what I get for running 3 D&Ds. All right, so fuck it.
It's okay.
Thrish was the nasty, and Grotha, I think. I think it was Grotha was the other one, or something. Groka and Grotha.
I can read it. I could watch it back.
So, you, Astrid, upon taking control of the minds of the leaders of the 2 tribes, you basically just force them to work together. Instead of doing this nonsense fetch quest bullshit, you're like, fuck that, and you take over their minds and make them work together on purpose. Because you're evil and you just don't have time for their
Am I evil though? I
Silly.
just brought 2 tribes together.
It's a preview for the devils and demons.
Your years-long war.
You are like some
Don't
horrible
work for their
bug
free will.
lich. So I'm just gonna say yes.
No.
Which, by the way, you are always surrounded by your 2 Shisuva and that large, strange, dead-looking giant man that
Yes.
stands behind you now in big leather coat and
Yes.
little.
Oh yeah, I don't think any of us had mentioned about
What?
that.
I touched his face.
He did touch his face, and
Did he tell you?
He's a handsome Squidward.
he is like a pretty handsome looking man.
He
Exactly.
reminded me of a more handsome Mr. Marbles before I got Mr. Marbles back.
Now he's like Frankenstein, Mr. Oh yes, your snake staff has been repaired by Boris the blacksmith, the dwarven blacksmith who knows some sort of dark arts, and upon receiving your new weapon, you realize that it's sort of infused with a strange metal, which has Mr. Marbles also infused with some sort of strange metal as well as corrupted plant matter. So now he's this weird combination of the two, a Frankenstein kind of creature. So I think we should pop in on you guys, actually, Esther and Astrid, as Alex has just walked away for some reason.
Yeah, that tends to happen.
Yep. So we're gonna pop in with you guys. You guys are a few miles out from the city. Won't take you long to get there. You know, a few minutes with your people. How do you want to approach? Is there any special way you want to do this, or here's what you should know. I'll leave it to you. What just happened is you get radio word that it's done, and you see explosions in the distance as the sky starts to light up around the city as parts of the city are blowing up. You assume that is the factories that need to be blown up.
And the idea was I brought up the castle in the hills to have some.
Yes. So you brought up the castle in the Bone Splitters territory, which is the closest.
Oh yes, that's what started that whole
Yeah.
shenanigan.
They started hanging out with some of them.
Let's have some of our guys and the Knolls do a full frontal, like in the Battle of Wakanda.
Oh, you just want to fucking charge? I love it. Okay. So they begin to Autobots roll out. You can see that because they are readying for war, out of some of the caves, they start wheeling out these large sort of wagons and things where they have these massive packs of hyenas on the front, like regular hyenas, not big hyenas. But they're big and like beefy looking. And as they start wheeling them out, you see that they're made of like wood and bone and just have like spikes and stuff coming out of them. They're like war wagons, it looks like. And as they start piling people onto them, you realize that they're basically made for bringing infantry very fast into a fray, and then it looks like they can hop out easily. The front they put up shields to block when people fire arrows or bullets at them. And all of the hyenas in the front are kind of armored out with things to keep them protected. Pretty nasty looking vehicles, but as you can see them start wheeling up, you see a lot of them sort of getting into it. And then the tribes are ecstatic when it comes to war. They are bloodthirsty kind of cries and whoops just start sounding through the mountains. And I'll say, you guys, did you, throughout the time that Mav was taken down, did you move closer and closer to the city, or are you still back by the mountains?
Did you want to go in on the ship? Did we want to do that, or was that I just don't want to speak for anybody because
I think that was something that was discussed, just because we had to keep reiterating that we couldn't use the ship because of the bubble. I mean, that's up to y'all, but it was something that was brought up.
So
the ship can't fit all the gnolls.
Yeah, I know that.
Pretty packed when you were driving them, but they can fit like a bunch of your zombies if you want, a bunch of the prisoners if you want, or a pack of the gnolls if you want.
I picture this like War Master Chief coming down in a pelican right now, let
Okay,
the
yeah,
war
yeah.
happen.
While the
And,
army is making
yeah.
its way there. So if you want to go faster ahead of them, you can, and you can join up with Alex, who is currently going to be going around, running all over the place, causing a whole bunch of bullshit in the city.
Okay.
Wasn't I in the sewers jumping out?
Yeah, he's
You were in the sewers. You're not out yet. I'm gonna jump to you in a minute. I'm kind of letting them decide how they want to enter, like what their entry is going to be.
Yeah, let's do that. Go smash and grab and let the army catch up to us.
Okay, no problem. So they are swiftly moving, so it's not like they're going to be, an hour behind you. They're hauling ass, and Knowles move pretty fucking fast on their own feet, and your people have their own, avenues of getting there. So you guys hop in these ships. The Wave Dancer and the SS Grinder. And as you guys get in the ships, they lift off, boom, and they start blasting out there. Alex. Headhunter has a group of goblins with him. Did you have the group? You sent the group of assassin goblins with Sneak to go plant the bombs. They have. How do you want to start causing havoc in the city that the sirens are now sounding off? People are already starting to mobilize because these power plants are exploding. What do you do to get more attention?
We had the bombs placed in like different guard towers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I say blow them and make a run for the armory.
Okay, so you want to go for the nearest guard station.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. So as Sneak and hits it one last time, you hear, I did it! And all of the goblins are like, yeah! In the sewers, just super fucking stoked. And Sneak goes, I can show you, come! And starts running, and all the goblins, yeah! And start taking their guns. Now, do you want to join them? Or do you want them to be their own sort of little suicide squad doing their own madness in the city?
Are we all forming together to fight a boss or not yet?
Well, you are, but Mav is in the city, over there by a factory. Esther and Astrid are making their way in the city. You have time. It's more like I was more kind of gauging what you wanted to do. If you want to go to this armor, you absolutely can. You have time to do it.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Okay, no problem. So you make your way. One of the goblins pops open one of the manholes that he's sitting on, and you hear people running and yelling, and he goes "Whoo!" and shuts it as you hear as you hear some sort of sirened vehicle, and he pops it back up and is like and he starts climbing as he's waving for you guys to come along. As all the goblins start scaling off, you see that he's found some sort of kind of quieter street that you're all hopping onto. There, the sounds of sirens and alarms is more what's filling the air. There is gunfire, and it sounds sort of far off. The factory that Mav was at was sort of to the right of where you are, and one of the other factories to the left. It sounds like heavy gunfire coming from that factory. Now the factory is destroyed, but it sounds like one of the teams is being attacked over there. And the guard station is just maybe down the street and to the right. So the goblins start moving that way towards the guard station because they know that that's their job. Do you want to join them?
Yeah.
All right. As you make your way down this alleyway, eventually what happens is you can see smoke and fire coming from where this guard station was. As you approach on the street that it's on, you look down to the right and you see the fire just spewing out of it, and you see what looks like some sort of firefighting kind of vehicle, and it's this hovercraft, long, kind of rectangular, and has what appears to be not like a hose, but this crystal on these two sort of brass handles, and the crystal is blue and spewing water out. It's almost like it's
magic fire truck.
Oh, what? It's a magic fire truck. That's exactly what it is. The hover, seems to be hovering on the panels. And as you can see, it's hovering on the panels. You see the panels blink for a second, like running low on power. And these are the panels that run through the whole city. And the truck goes and lands on the ground. And they're like, what? But the hose is still going. And he's like, oh shit! And you see and float back up. And then and it seems like the city is struggling to hold its power together. As you can see, the force field that covers the sky of this place is all fucked. It's barely there. There's only patches of it that are kind of like trying to hold on. But this kind of probably reminds you of things that would happen in Red 9, where sometimes power would get lost. And you're like, it's only a matter of time. This place is fucked. You know what I mean? Like this is not good. So there's a group of what looks like these firefighters. It's men in these large red coats and these big red metal hats that have sort of a silver stripe down the center. And they're all kind of yelling, and some of them are going into the building to see if they can't rescue people. But it sounds like there's a whole lot of stuff going on there in the front. Did you just want to haul ass in? The goblins are sort of waiting for your cue, guns loaded.
Yeah, I don't really care about the firefighters. If they get in our way, we'll take care of them. But I kind of want to go into the towers.
Okay, no problem. So you just want to haul ass?
Mm-hmm.
So the goblins start running in, and they just start firing at these firemen. Some of the firemen turn and are like, "What the fuck?" And some of them just get mowed the fuck down because they're not expecting to fight goblins with heavy firearms, and they're getting ripped apart. Amongst this crowd, you see that coming down the street the other direction, it looks like there's 3 other floating vehicles. And you can see as the blinking panels blink out underneath them, these ones seem to have like these jets underneath that keep them afloat. So it looks like these are you would assume the guard vehicles, and it looks like they're not associated with the panels. They can survive without them because they need to be able to respond. So as the panels start blinking out, these cars keep hauling ass, and you can see leaning out of one of the windows is one of them is wearing blue and silver, and he's got like a full face mask on that sort of has like a mirrored kind of glass to it. And he pulls out what looks like just a handgun and starts pop, 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 and starts firing at you guys. These are definitely guard vehicles, and they are approaching very quickly. As some of the goblins start running into the burning building, like, ha, 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 ha. Did you want to go in with them and let some other ones hold off the cops? Or did you want to hold off the cops and let the goblins raid?
I guess I'll hold off the cops myself.
Okay.
With maybe a couple of goblins.
Okay, yeah, you have a couple of them. There. Some of them start. You see one of them beating to death one of the firemen on top of the fire truck and getting on. He goes, mine, 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 and he starts like jumping on the fire truck, super excited. And then he sees the cops, lays down and props his assault rifle on the on the fire truck, the magic fire truck. This is a ridiculous string of words I'm putting together, and I'm struggling to do it because it's nonsensical, and my brain says we shouldn't. But here it is. How do you want to approach them? There's 3 vehicles.
Let's see.
I'm going to give you one chance to attack before the vehicles reach the destination. They all start getting out.
These are being pushed by like jets.
Yeah. So at first they're hovering over these sort of panels that run through the streets. This like magic energy. When the panels like blink out and the cars begin to drop, you can see these sort of like arcane like energy. It's not really fire. It's like force. You know what I mean? You've been hit with enough magic to see there's just like force magic coming out.
So it's not fuel, it's arcane?
It's arcane, yeah. Everything in this city seems to run on some sort of powerful magic.
I'll just take aim at the windshield or whatever and just start unloading.
The windshields? Okay.
Yeah, it bursts into each of the windshields.
Okay.
There's 3 cars, so just one bursts into each.
What gun are you using?
What's the...
You got the big AK-47 that you got from Skull.
That's the good one, right? The atomic killer.
That's a good one. You got the new Reaper gun, the handgun, but those bullets are pretty expensive. We have a bunch of them. I think you have like 100 of them.
Is the atomic killer, that's the AK, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. So, let's see. Oh, I don't have my dice. I have to do my electronic dice.
Do it up.
So, first shot is...
You have to beat a 17 to hit any of the people inside the vehicle because it's moving vehicles and it's a little harder.
This says I have a +8 to hit, but it should be +12 to 14. Should I just go with the +8? Because you custom made it.
No, I noticed that before, and I don't think that's correct. So I think you should go with your normal. I don't think it counts it because it was like some sort of thing that I crafted.
Okay. Yeah, mine's +14. So it's 11 + 14 for the first hit.
Okay. That is.
This one's 5 plus 14. And that was a nat 1 plus 14. I don't know if that matters.
That one misses. But your other two hit. So roll diggity damage. Let me see if you... You're aiming at one car or two?
I was aiming at all 3, so I'll miss 1 car.
Okay.
So 4d6 plus 10, I'm assuming. There's too many dice with this. So the first hit is 24, and the second's 22.
Okay. So as you it's 46 plus 10. So per hit, which is nuts. So as you you can smell the sort of like radiation coming off of the shells that's flying out of this thing, and the sort of green flashes that it's firing at them. As you rip into one of the cars, you can see you definitely peel through and hit whoever is the driver, and the car kind of swerves and flips and just like and starts tumbling and crashing as it slams into one of the nearby buildings. You switch and fire into another one. You don't hit the driver, but you peg the guy who's hanging out of the window firing at you. He sort of like hangs down, gets dragged on the road and sucked back as he just sort of like down on the street. The other car, you fire at that one, and it seems to be like swerving kind of out of the way of it actually swerves out of the way of one of the grenades that the goblins just throws at it, which throws it off course of your aiming. And then it reaches you. You can see that the police start getting out, and you can see them. They have like this sort of heavier body armor on top of them that's just sort of like a dark blue, as opposed to their like light blue and silver. And as they all get out, they start lining up their guns, and some of them are going to start shooting at you, but some of them are also going to start shooting at goblins. That does not hit you. That starts hitting one of your goblins. And that 16 plus 5, does that hit you? So
16 plus 5?
21 hits you, I believe. Right? So you take 6 piercing damage as one of them starts pop, 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 and firing at you with these just like regular handguns, I would say, with these guys. The goblins, one of the goblins who is running up next to you, and he's like, I protect you, boom! And he just gets fucking blasted back and sort of shot in like the chest and the shoulder kind of area. And he's like, ah! And
You
it's
said 6 piercing damage, right?
What did you say?
You said 6 piercing damage? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
To you. The goblin's laying on the ground. He's like, ah! And one of the other ones grabs him and starts pulling him back and starts firing at the cops with one of his other hands. You only have now 2 goblins next to you that are firing at these cops. But there was 4 cops. I'm sorry, I messed up. Okay, he fucking missed. So the cops are kind of scared and don't really know what to do. They're a little. This is a crazy, unprecedented sort of event. So they're shaky with their guns.
In these unprecedented times, goblins are attacking our police officers.
So as they're firing at you, you can see that there's 4 officers left as they're getting out and firing. And one of the goblins starts fucking firing. Oh, nice. The goblin who's on top of the fire truck is like, bah, 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 and he's firing down. And you can see that even though the cops are behind their cars, it looks like the doors, not the windows, but the doors are like armored. So as the goblin's firing into the door, you can see it's stopping the bullets. But he kind of peels through and hits one of the other ones just in like full auto mode as it's ripping through them and pegs one of them through one of the face masks because it looks like the bullet goes right through. So their armor isn't bulletproof, but the car doors are. So there's 3 of them left. They're just fucking firing at you, and you can hear your goblins inside. It sounds like they got into some sort of firefight, and you can hear them like there's fighting going on, and then you hear them celebrating. So that means they either found something good or they're just having a really good time. But you're not sure. They might have found the armory, or they might just be laughing and thinking that it's fun.
They might have found a birthday cake.
But you have 3 cops left there.
Can I shoot my grenade launcher into the vehicle?
Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, they're pretty close quarters. Yes, go right ahead.
Oh, it says as a bonus action, but...
Oh, so that means you can shoot and fire. So you want to fire first and then shoot if you don't kill them all?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, you can do the bonus action first if you want.
All right, so let me roll the hit 3 times.
Each of these are radioactive.
Would that
Yes.
disable the? Because you said they're magical fire trucks, right?
How the fuck?
He's not close enough. So it's just the bullets. It's more like these bullets can punch through like magical shields and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Radioactive bullets have a better chance of it. Like essentially lowers the AC of like magical creatures. So you just
So
and you start.
the first hit is 27. Second hit is 22. Third hit is 33. And should I roll for that? But that was a critical actually. I rolled a 19.
Oh my god!
Ooh.
So the third was a 19 on and hit for 33.
Roll the bonus. Roll the. You actually don't need to roll the hit. I have to roll a dexterity saving throw. So as you
Okay.
and fire the this grenade, you can see this sort of like this like green smoke kind of follow it. This sickening green nasty shit that sort of contrasts all the sort of beautiful blue and colors of the area. Ooh, one of them made it. Ooh, one of them didn't. Ooh, another one didn't. So one of them got a natural 19 on their dexterity. So as you fire, the one's like, grenade! And he jumps out of the way as the other two are like, oh, boom! And it just sort of explodes in this area. And I do believe they do 3d6. Yeah, I just rolled that for you. I apologize. I just got excited. So as it blows up, it just destroys one of the cars, blowing it into pieces. You see one of the police officers gets slammed back into one of the walls, and you can just see like kind of he's fucking dead. Another one topples to the ground, and one of them completely dodges out of the way. The one that completely dodges out of the way sort of tuck and rolls, lifts his gun back up, but you're already on him with your guns. And you we'll do the critical one for this one as you and just kind of slam right through his head. The other ones sort of land, and he's pulling out his sidearm and firing at you from on the ground as you as it like ting kick like clinks off your armor. You just and like grind up the wall up the ground and fucking nail him. And the last one you pull over and go boom and put 2 in his chest, but he's already dead. And you're like, oh, whoops, you already killed that one. Just as you finish, the goblins start pouring out of the burning building, and you can see them like, we died! And you see like some of them are on fire and like and like laughing, and they start rolling around on the ground, and some of them are holding, and it looks like a bunch of them are holding all kinds of guns.
I was gonna say, did they loot that place?
What'd you say?
I was gonna say, did they loot the hell out of it?
Oh, so one of them looks like he's carrying like just a bunch. He's wearing like 6 different body armors on him that are just sort of thrown on top of him, and he like has a big ballistic helmet. He goes, "I'm invincible!" and he starts running as he has like 2 handguns flopping in the wind. You see as some of them start trying to pull the body armor off of him. There's another one that's coming out, and he has like this huge this like big case with him, and he's like, and he's pulling it as another one starts lifting it from the other side. You see one of them walking out with it looks like 2. He can't carry them, so he's dragging them, but it looks like 2 light machine guns. And he's like, look what I got! And some of them are like, yeah! And like coming over and playing with it. And there's a lot of shotguns, a ton of shotguns and assault rifles. But it looks like they are just loaded out, lots of ammo, and whatever that big case is, that big crate. As well as just tons of guns. And as they do, the one that's on top of the fire truck goes, put it in! And he's like jumping on the fire truck as the goblin's like, yeah! And it looks like they are just being attracted to this fire truck, and they're starting to load their shit onto it, and they're starting to climb onto it. You didn't tell them to do this, but they're very excited, and they clearly want it.
They can have it.
Okay, so what do you want to do? Do you want to stick with them as they decide to go on their merry chase, or do you?
What's holding up this big dome? Is there like a specific tower that's holding it up, or just all the warehouses?
It was those 4 power plants, which are all basically being destroyed as we speak. They will be completely annihilated soon. There's not much you need to do when it comes to destroying the defenses of the city. There are a few things that you do notice, though, is that as this force field is, you know what? I don't know if you would. Roll perception. Because it's kind of in the middle of a crazy chaos.
I got 16.
16? Okay. Here's what you do notice. As you're sitting there like, okay, this is looking pretty good. You hear this loud sort of mechanical noise, and you're like, that sounds different from the distant explosions. And you look kind of at the skyline, and there's something moving, but you're going to need to get a better look. You're probably going to need to get a vantage point on one of the rooftops to really see what's going on. Mav, I'm going to say that you start hearing this noise too, and it seems different, like the city reacting to something, like something is moving mechanically.
I'm sorry, Henry, where does it seem to be coming from? The center of the city?
Yeah, there's some sort of movement coming from the center of the city, but you're going to need to get better vantage points to really see what's going on, so you have to get up onto a rooftop.
Okay.
You're fine.
Let me know, because I want to get over there, but go back to Alex and do what you're doing with him if he's in the middle.
You guys know we're coming in from the air if you want us to look for it. Or
That
warn
is
us.
true, if you
Yeah,
are.
I could radio to them.
I'm going to give, they would have noticed this before you guys approach the sim. I'm just going to give them a minute to notice what it is first, then you can decide what you want to do about it. But, so, Alex and Mav, what are you guys doing?
I'm going to... Go ahead, Alex.
I'm gonna get to the top of the building just to see.
Okay, so you start scanning the building. Mav, you doing the same?
I'm going to roll stealth and then do similarly, yes.
Okay, I like that. Good. All right, so give me your stealth roll. Headhunter, I'm not even going to make you guys roll dex because you're fucking like level 18 or whatever. So, Headhunters, you kind of lurch up to one of the fire escapes, lift yourself up and start hauling ass. The goblins are clapping. You can see one of the goblins whacking the shit out of the bottom of the fire truck. And as you can see, he hits it, and he moves a lever. And as one of the panels stops, the fire truck lowers, and then it has those similar jets because it is an emergency response vehicle. And they start celebrating and partying as they start driving the fire truck away. So they are off on their own now, and you can hear them shooting off guns and shooting water. So,
Great.
Mav, what was your stealth?
33?
33. God, you get to the top of the building and roll perception. I'm gonna let you notice the thing that you're actually looking for, but roll perception
Okay.
for something.
8.
8? Okay,
8.
you do not notice. So you get up to the top, but your stealth is ridiculous. So as you get up to the top, you can see Headhunter. You start climbing up too, and you guys both see that in the center of the city there are these two huge sort of pylons rising. They're like or obelisks or something. It looks like the ground, the area that they came out of was like small sort of park kind of areas, and it looks like the center of the park had like a statue, and the statue moved aside for these things to rise out of the ground. It looks like some sort of city defense. And as they rise up to the top, you can see that they and they start creating some form of energy. And Headhunter, I would say that you don't know much about arcane stuff, but what you do know is military defense systems, and this looks like some sort of either artillery or anti-aircraft thing. And as you're like, you start thinking about that. You are, because you did not roll good stealth. Okay. Does a 17 plus 5 hit you?
No. Yeah, it does.
So, they should really be more than plus 5. But either way, you hear as you look to the side, and you're like, what? And then you look down, you notice, like, light, and you look down at your chest, and you see a red laser, and you go, oh, no, and you get slammed by a sniper round that slams into your chest bit, your chesty bit. And there are snipers on the rooftops that, Matt, you were not able to notice. So... Snipers hurt. 17 piercing damage from one shot as it just boom and kind of makes you fly backwards. You go prone as you sort of hit the ground on the rooftop. Those pylons are up. There are snipers on the roof. After hearing the shot kind of ring out, Mav, you probably notice, and you can see lasers moving towards one of the rooftops in particular, as the snipers are probably in communication with each other. And it seems that they've located a bad guy, but you can see them. So, what do you guys want to do about that?
I radio over the radio. I'm like, Alex, did you just get shot?
Yeah, I want to tell everybody there's snipers on the rooftops. And
Yeah, there's like a bunch. You might want to run or get down or something.
Am I still on the roof, or did I get shot off the roof?
No, you didn't get shot off the roof. You probably got close, but you just got thrown back. and just are prone right now. So
And
they
while
can't
prone.
see you right now because you're under there's like a small lip. And so when you're prone, they can't see you. But as soon as you pop up to shoot them, they can see you and they'll be able to shoot you.
I want to rocket boot, jump off.
Okay, so unexpected, you rocket boot away as you see them like destroy the concrete that you blast away from, and you swear, Mav, you hear like chirping over a radio off like a rooftop away from you. You hear what the fuck as you just see like off in the distance his little rocket boots shooting him up.
I'm also gonna tell the airborne crew that the town has lasers. They have lasers. They look like big crackly things, and it doesn't look good to me. I'll try to get over there and do what I can, but I can't make any promises.
Okay. So you're gonna go head towards one of the pylons.
I'm gonna try.
Headhunter deal with the snipies.
I mean, Headhunter can deal with what he wants to deal with, but I'm gonna try to take care
I
of it.
feel like those towers are a big threat. I don't know.
You can make it to one of the towers, Headhunter. You would have to be dodging sniper fire while you do so. So I'd make you make like 3 dexterity saving throws on your way there. Mav, they don't even know that you exist. So you could walk there if you wanted to, whistling a tune. It doesn't matter.
They're just snipers on these towers?
Yes, they're not towers. No. The huge towers have some sort of heavy crackling energy. There are snipers on the rooftops that have, because the city's like, snipers are now getting up to the rooftops to try to start defending and calming things.
Gotcha.
This is basically going into oh fuck mode and is not sure where the threat's coming from.
I'll take out the snipers then, just so we don't have to worry about them.
Okay, no problem. So, Mav, you start heading towards one of these pylons. As you hop down one of the rooftops to get on the ground, you can see ground level where the bottom of this pylon thing is. Because I said that you hopped off the roof because there's sort of a good bit of distance. It's like a big open park where these things are. And there is no like way to reach it from the sky, from, rooftop. But you can see down near the entrance, it appears to be a small team of like security, like some sort of, looks like armed personnel. And it looks like there is an entry, like a doorway to get inside. But there's about 4 people guarding this entryway with guns, just sort of waiting. And as you're sort of looking at that, like, shit, you're kind of planning how else that you could approach this. When you hear crazy gunfire and laughing coming from the street, and you look down and you hear the siren going off, as you see this fire truck blaring down the street, firing off guns. And I'm going to say most of the security team starts going after that and starts shooting at it because they're like, as the goblins are throwing grenades, blowing shit up. You can see that one of them is sitting there trying to open up some big crate, and he's like smashing like a ballistic case, and he's like smashing it with like an axe as the rest of them are just firing off, and one of them starts shooting a high-powered hose through windows. It's just destroying the windows of houses, and you hear screams coming from the homes. So now you're only left with it looks like 2 bad guys standing by the entrance as the goblins.
And it's not like a chain link fence gate. That seems to be the only valid way in.
From what you can tell, you might be able to climb the thing, but
I don't really want to touch it. Can I?
I would say upon closer inspection, it looks like this thing is made of some sort of cobblestone originally, like some sort of large cobblestone tower.
The wall or the towers?
This big tower that has like crackling energy at the top. It sort of like comes to like a peak, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The very heavy incline.
Could I try to throw like a rock at it? At the tower?
Just at the tower? Okay.
Yeah.
So you throw a rock at it, and the rock goes, and one of the security goes, "What was that noise?"
But it doesn't like blow up or anything.
No, you threw a rock at it, and one of them gets a little exclamation on his head. He goes, "What was that just now?" And then you wait about 5 seconds, and he goes, "I guess it was nothing." And the other one goes, "What the fuck are you talking to? Pay attention, God."
Is there? I know you said there's a little bit of distance between any kind of tall point and the tower. Is there any point where I can try to make a leap of faith onto the tower?
So no buildings that would be able to like Assassin's Creed your way there. You can see though running through the park, there appears to be a large wire that goes from one this like sort of telephone pole looking thing all the way to another pole that's sort of in the center of the park and then over. You can, with a high enough acrobatics check, run along that and it would bring you pretty close to the tower. Close enough that you might be able to jump onto the tower, completely unbeknownst to the team below.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna try to do that.
Okay.
26.
Holy shit! Really? Because I was thinking
I have plus 7.
would be a really tough seat. Like, okay.
I have plus
fine.
17 to my sneak and my acrobatics. So even if I rolled absolute lowest, I'm getting 18 on either of those checks.
So you leap from or from the where you're kind of down on the street. You're like, you scale up one of the fire escapes, perch on one of the buildings, leap onto this wire, kind of like whoop, and like whip yourself up onto it, kind of like perched like a cat, and then you start and Naruto running across. You get no choice
with the arms and everything.
You have to Naruto run across the wire. It's
That's
mandatory. Being a tiefling from the city of Dis, this is how they taught you how to run across wires.
Like
So is
literally
you-
Naruto.
Whoa.
Do you have clippy cloppy feet or people feet?
I have like lizard bat
Good.
claw feet.
So your nasty little claw feet are kind of like, with your toes sort of apart as you and you reach right near where the obelisk is, and I want you to roll acrobatics to try to make the jump onto it and see if you can like start climbing this thing.
25.
Yep. Okay. So, and you land, and your sharp little fingers. Oh, especially with your armor. You just, and I'm gonna say there's actually small spikes that jut out of your armor here and just sort of dig into the. That would be a good. I should make that armor better at climbing. So as it's all covered in spikes. So you just like Batman spike onto the side of the obelisk and start scaling up it. Alex, there are snipers on the roof. Not sure how many. You just blasted off. You landed onto another building and there's a large sort of concrete sort of block that has like a door on the other end to it. So it looks like that's like the stairway entrance to the roof. You land right behind that as one of the snipers and kind of shoots into it, but it's thick enough concrete that it blocks the bullet. So you are behind cover right now. How do you want to handle these guys?
He's not on the tower I'm on, right?
No, did you want to blast towards one of them?
If I know where the fire came from?
You fuck it, yeah. So as you blast onto one of the rooftops, you hear boom, and you hear you went right over one of them as you are trying to escape, and you hear him go targets on my roof, and you can hear him moving his gun aside and whipping out something else as he.
Ew, Evan, I didn't know it would be that type of game.
Yeah, it is that type of game. Get ready, boy.
All right, I'm gonna unzip my. No, I'm gonna take. I guess still the atomic killer. And I'm just gonna jump out and shoot at him.
Okay.
So let's see. I'm gonna roll the hit. 21, 27, and 24.
Okay, so this thing does nasty enough damage that you'll probably kill in one hit. Here's my question to you. You have nothing else to shoot because you can't see anything. You don't know where they are. So would you like to use your bonus action to locate the other snipers?
Yes, but I also want to go up to his body and take his comms and his sniper. And if he has any type of goggles or anything.
Okay, then you won't know where they are. So then that's your bonus action.
Okay.
Okay, so you pop behind just as he approaches. You and just blast a huge smoking green hole through his chest as he just and just hits the ground. As you showed yourself, I want you to make a dexterity saving throw. Yeah, I think we'll just go by throws. Saving throws.
I rolled a 17 plus 5.
17 plus 5?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Well done. As you dodge two of the bullets, two sniper rounds, as you tuck and roll and sort of grab onto his body. Now you're low enough that they can't see you. His sniper is on him and his comms. So you are patched in. Are you listening to them?
Mm-hmm.
You hear them say, Sniper 3, respond.
I want to say target down.
Sniper 3, do you have a cold? You don't sound, you just sounded totally different for a second there.
What?
Where's your thick Russian accent? What happened? Why are you suddenly speaking now? So you go, target down, and you say that. I want you to roll a performance check.
I want to replicate when I heard him saying, one just went over me. Oh, no, that's plus 14. What did I roll without the 14 because of my gun? I rolled an 11.
Wait a second. Are you wearing your mask?
Yes.
Does your mask have the voice replicator on it?
Check.
One of your masks, one of the upgrades was a voice replicator, but I don't know if you actually got that upgrade from Winan. I think you stopped upgrading.
What is it, the SCAD?
Yeah, the SCAD.
Yeah, because I had the 2 and I have the 4 right now, and the 4 comes with voice masking. It has a voice amplifier and voice masking.
Voice masking is different than voice replicator. Okay, so then you just roll straight performance then.
I rolled a 14.
A 14? Okay, you know what? Fuck it. They're like affirmative, and you can see that the sniper bullets or the sniper lasers start going to other locations. So now you can see those lasers as you crop around.
No, I rolled an 11. The 14 was for my plus to hit.
Was your 11 plus anything?
No.
Okay, not good enough. Then you say target down, and you hear affirmative. Another one goes, wait. Clancy. What's your son's name?
Think of a name right now.
Me?
Evan. Yeah.
Jeremiah.
No, don't tell me.
Oh, I thought you said let me make up the name you say. Okay.
No, because if I guess the name.
Okay. He said son's name, so it's gonna be a boy's name. Hold on.
I'm not going to get in.
I got it.
Tommy.
You son of a bitch. His son's name is Billy. As you're like, fuck. And it's like, everybody locate, targets on the rooftop. And you see like over your head, it's like lasers.
It's like a laser show.
But you have that, and you still have your spooky boots.
I wanted to go in the comms and say, tell Billy his son's dead.
His father.
His dad.
It was his dad, idiot.
You know what I meant. All right, I'm gonna blast
you're the
off.
worst kind of scum.
I'm gonna blast off to the next.
You roll dexterity saving throw as you blast off, rocking off again. And now we're gonna go to you guys.
Well, I rolled a solid 19 before my plus 5.
As you go, tell him his father's dead. And as you blast off, you see, and you kind of spin over. As you're like, as it's just underneath you, as you're jumping from one of the rooftops, being shot at by snipers. You can see what now appears to be a fire truck and one of the police cars, and one of the police cars' windshield is completely shot out, and you can see one of the goblins sitting there with his foot on the dashboard and a light machine gun as he's just firing as this little armada starts, or well, not armada because that's a ship, as this little destructive force starts flying its way through the city, being chased by tons of other police cars, definitely taking a lot of the distraction.
Excellent.
You land, Astrid and Esther.
No.
What?
No.
As you guys start approaching from outside the city, you can see what appears to be 2 beacons of bright blue light start emanating over in the city. And as Molt's driving the ship, he goes, "Hey, looks like anti-air arcane. Not very good."
Not very good at all. How big are they?
So the towers are pretty tall. They're probably like I'm gonna say
Are-
7 stories.
Are they like, what kind of towers are they? Are they like big buildings?
Are they
It's not like the
girthy?
buildings. So they're made of sort of like cobblestone-ish, which I said so that Mav could climb it. But they're basically in this sort of obelisk kind of shape where they sort of rise up to kind of like a point,
Okay.
almost like the that thing in Washington D.C., that monument in D.C. What's it called?
The
Jeff?
Washington Monument.
Washington Monument?
Yeah, that one. So it's kind of like those, but with sort of this crackling energy at the top. And there's 2 of them.
How big around are they? Like a building or a tree?
Like a little thinner than a building, probably like a tree, probably like a good sized tree.
Okay.
Yeah, they wouldn't be huge. How big around is the Washington Monument?
I don't know, but I know that's
man.
a
You have 2 phones
huge
to
building.
look stuff up, and you're using it for double Pokemon Go.
All right. Mulch, what do you think the range is on these things?
Well, if I had to guess, probably be in range. Probably just a few moments. Now, it's anti-air, so the range is wrong. And we're getting pretty close.
So do we see like a little like eye or something on top of it?
Yeah, you can see the sort of beacons of light. And you're probably like 300 yards away. And Mulch is like,
I'm going to guess it's probably 100 yards.
How close are they together?
not very close. No, they're pretty close together. They're probably within 100 yards of each other. Yeah.
Astrid, cast the darkness ball on one of them.
What's the range on that?
Hang on, let me find it.
Because 300 yards is a lot of feet.
Yeah, find out how many feet.
That's 900 feet.
It's 150.
So yeah, you can't reach it with any of your spells. I don't think any of you guys. No
Not
spell is
900,
900 feet.
I think I can.
With your spells.
Mhm.
Your ranged weapons are probably better. Yeah.
I was kidding. I
Most
don't have
range
magic.
go up to 300. I don't know about 900.
Oh yeah, 900 too far. So,
Mulch is like, now we can go in and start doing evasive maneuvers. Buy us a little bit of time. If you want me to get you close to him, I can.
I think we should do a drive-by to try to neutralize this weapon.
All right, then. We're going in.
and he starts spinning the wheels. The ship starts sweeping down towards the ground, and then as it goes down towards the ground, it goes woof and starts flying at the city very, very fast. As you guys start approaching, you can see the crackling energy start growing larger and larger. 18. As it fires its laser, it's not hitting any of you, it hits the ship. As you can see, this sort of blast of blue energy fly out of the this tower and slam into the side of the ship. As you can see, it sort of just rocks the entire ship. And even though it's a ghost ship, it's made of like phantasm goo, you kind of look over the side and you can see that it just annihilated a whole portion of it. And Mulch goes, not very good! And he starts spinning the ship as... nice. The next huge blast comes as he sort of dodges out of the way of it this time, and sort of is just spinning the ship around, trying to dodge this shit.
How close are we now?
So I'm going to say now you are probably 300 feet. So it gets another shot. He's getting you close. That was a good. So as it fires again, you can see him spin the wheel. You can see his men like pulling down the mast, like all this shit as the ship goes straight up, as the beam goes underneath it. And as the ship goes up, he goes, all right then! And they let go as it just starts peeling down and starts hauling ass straight towards it. As it goes faster and faster and faster, what's the longest? What range do you guys need to be before you act?
150.
150 feet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jeff, what about you?
Can she cover both of them, or can she only cover one?
I will be able to maybe cover both of them. We will see.
It's a big orb of darkness.
I'm not gonna Orb of Darkness though.
Oh, okay. One more. God damn. His dexterity saving throws are fucking awesome. So as it's a two natural 20s. Oh, I wish those were attack rolls. That would have been good. So as it fires one last huge crackle, you can see he sort of barrel rolls through it and past the laser, as the laser itself is kind of crackling next to Mulch, as he's just like, ah! And now you are most definitely, as he's getting next to this thing, trying to get within, it's probably like within 60 feet of it.
So I'm gonna do Web of the Soul Eater on one of them.
On the shit? On this obelisk thing?
Yeah.
So it's a structure. It's not a living thing.
So it says the target of my choice. The target can be a creature or an object,
Okay.
and can be targeted by only one of the beams. So the target would take 10d10 necrotic damage.
Okay.
Is that gonna work? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because you're questioning me with the way that you wrote it.
Oh my god, your keyboard's on the back? How do you even hold it? Yeah, I mean you'll cause a bunch of damage to it.
Because
It's a structure, so it'll take because it's like necrotic damage. It'll probably take like half damage of what you're doing. This thing is like a war structure. It's made to withstand like battlements and stuff.
So the 3 beams leap out and target as many as 3 other targets. So would it target the other one?
Yes.
And then would it target, I guess, 2 other things that are in range? I don't
Yes.
know what else
There's
is in
people down at the bottom. It'll probably go to them.
range. Okay.
Okay, cool. So you want to hit it with the main beam, and then you want the 3 other beams to fly off and hit living people and the other tower?
Yes.
No problem. Okay, so there's no dexterity saving throw because it's a structure, so you're just going to roll
10d10.
10d10. Yep. Oh,
How come it says 10d8?
Does D&D say anything about structures taking half? I feel like they take half damage from stuff. But I could be wrong.
You're the DM. Why don't you decide?
I feel like that makes sense. I feel like that just makes sense. So it's not like a fleshy creature. It's sort of like an armored, you know what I mean? Like this thing's meant to like withstand a missile.
I think it just failed.
Nah, you can definitely fucking whack it. That's a lot.
70.
Woo! Okay. So 70 cut in half. We use 40. No,
No. 30 something.
35. 35. Yes. 65, 5, 10. So 35 damage as you and launch this sort of black beam as it slams into the side of this thing. And as it does, you can see it kind of shake as it's destroying some of the kind of armored stone on it. And as it slams into that, you can see it's this sort of like black energy sort of smear and crackle around it, as then these sort of veins of energy start flying off and finding other targets. Two of them slamming right into these 2 people down at the bottom, completely just sort of disintegrating them. Oh no, I'm sorry, what does it do?
They turn into zombies.
Excellent. So 2 of the security slams into them as they and they hit the ground, as and then their souls come out, I do believe, correct?
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, Esther, these 2 wisps of bluish energy come out of these men as the energy pulls away. You can see their bodies start rising again as they start looking around, and you see these blue wisps come flying up right to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have to, is that an action to take the souls?
No.
I think they just come to you, don't they?
Yeah.
Excellent. So as you can see, these 2 sort of wisps of energy come into Astrid's hand as she pulls them out. The tower that you are on, Mav, does get hit with one of the other energy blasts as you are climbing it, and I want you to make a dexterity.
Oops.
No thanks.
I didn't know.
I'll say dexterity saving throw for you because you are who you are.
Ah,
Oh, I guess that's what you were trying to say to us.
yes.
I didn't know.
13.
13? Okay.
Wait, she has advantage.
What?
She has advantage.
I do have advantage.
Oh yeah.
8 plus.
It was 13?
It's 19 with advantage.
Okay, so as this beam comes flying down, you're like no, wait, boom, and it blows up as you kind of lose your grip, and then you're able to catch again and catch your grip as you start pulling your way back up the tower like motherfucker. And as you do, Matt, as that happens, you swear you hear in your mind, or you're reminded of what the champion said to you.
Oh, motherfucker.
Where she basically said, "Oh, it's only a matter of time before. Like, do you really think Draxie's going to let you live? How long until they kill you?" And you just can't help but think of that again, kind of on the back of your mind.
I get back on calm really quickly while I'm climbing. Can you please watch where you're aiming your shit? And then I keep climbing towards the top of it.
She didn't say her sorry.
No,
She just,
I want to. No,
Esther,
she wouldn't.
Esther, you watch as Astrid just consumes these two little balls of light, and you swear you can hear what sounds like small screams coming from them as they enter a wicked maw. As you pet your little Shisuva while you do it as just evil as possible.
No.
Like, okay, so
No.
Mav, you start climbing. I'm going to say you're able to reach the top of this. You can see that as it comes to the top, it sort of plateaus. A small little, like 5 foot area, like just small enough for you to sit. And you can see that you're underneath this crackling energy. It's hot to get near. And you can see that there is a crystal floating right there. But it is in this sort of burning, hot kind of energy. What do you want to
The
do?
crystal is surrounded by an energy.
Yes.
Hey. Yeah.
Do you want to try to like figure it out or just do something?
Part of me thinks to just try to tump it over by hitting it with something, like as hard as I can.
You will probably take damage from that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And these things seem to hit very hard.
I get back on comms with Esther and Astrid. I'm at the top of one of these towers. There's a crystal with some energy goo around it. Do either of you know how we might neutralize this?
How big is it?
However big Evan says.
Like big as like a torso, kind of.
Should we roll?
You can roll Arcana.
But 19.
20.
Ooh. So, you guys, upon deliberating, are like, you know what? What you could probably do is, because it's so potent and powerful, it's like some sort of energy crystal, you could try to just overload it with a different kind of energy. A different kind of arcane, like a different kind of magic or a different kind of element. You know what I mean? If you shoot enough fire at it, it might fuck with it. Because all arcane is sort of natural. It's like imbued in the natural world. So if you just start hitting it with something else similar, then you might be able to overload it, but it will most likely explode when it's overloaded. So
Can
you
I
have
try
to
to-
hit it very quickly.
Can I try to animate it?
The
The crystal?
crystal? I get. Can you tell me what the rules are of that? Hold on.
Objects come to life at your command. Choose up to blah, blah, blah. I can't animate objects larger than huge, but if it's the size of half a person, I don't think that's huge.
Hold
As
on.
a bonus action, you can mentally command any...
Objects
Any
come to life at
creature
your
you
command.
made.
Choose up to 10 non-magical objects within range that are not being worn or carried. Medium targets count as 2 objects. Medium, so these would be probably about medium, so you could get one of them. Huge targets.
If it counts as 2
I
objects, then he
I
can carry
only
up to
need
10.
one. I only
true.
need one.
You can mentally command any creature. Yeah, I guess so. I don't see a reason why not. God, that is a terrifying spell.
I
Okay.
want to point at the crystal.
The one that Mav is over, the one that you guys are closer to one of the other ones.
The one that Mav is over.
Okay. So Mav, you climbed up there for no reason. So you did. Well, you did climb up there to tell them that it's a crystal, not just a beam of energy. So Esther's, you're like, oh wait, it's a thing. You point at it from your ship, just like as Mulch starts steering you close to it. Mav, you see the huge ghost ship fly not too far away.
Guys.
Again.
Guys.
One of the beams blasts it and
Guys!
slams into the ship as the ship like boom, careens. Esther, you just lock eyes with the thing. Still, like as the ship turns and reels, you just sort of turn with it, like your head not moving, and you connect to the crystal.
I want it to set all its sights to the other crystal and just volley at it.
You see, as Esther points at it, you can see the color change from blue to sort of this dark purple as it sort of, and you can see the crackling energy like alterate and become more chaotic as it's not meant to like be controlled like this. And you're like, as it sort of turns, and you have to like get out of the way as it's charging, and we see these two obelisks standing, next to each other. You see. As it just annihilates the other one,
Opens a fire hose.
Crumbling it as it falls, the huge stones falling to the ground as you see the two zombies start running off after some of the other security team, tackling one of them as he's like, and they're like, what the fuck? Because there's suddenly zombies somehow. And so one of the ones is destroyed as the other one is just sitting there like awaiting its instruction.
I want to tell it to take any commands from the little devil that's running up on top of it right now.
So,
Mav, point and shoot.
Mav, you are now...
What do you mean point and shoot?
Just point and shoot. It'll listen to you.
Is it... How far away from the big tower is it that we're trying to get?
So actually not terribly far. These look like they're part of the defense system that leads right up to the factory. So the factory is maybe like 2 blocks that way. One block, one like city block, kind of to your left, like to the west. And as you can see it right there in front of you. You can see the 4 other factories kind of burning. You hear fire and gunfire coming from 2 of them. As it sounds like Corlox is fighting people as well as Sam and Clyde.
Okay, I'm gonna tell the guard tower to start firing on the last factory where we think Garland Brighthand is.
Okay, you just start hammering the actual factory.
Why not?
You point now when you can see this factory. It is large and illustrious and colorful. It is an easy target for this thing to see. As it sort of turns, you can see these large sort of towers with like spiraling sort of colors. You see all sorts of sort of like bright spires. It seems to be like one of the few beacons of light still alit in this city. And this tower just starts. So for the next minute, this thing will just start hammering the piss fuck out of the factory.
It's animated for a minute?
What?
It's animated for a minute?
Yes, the duration is 1 minute on this.
Can I tell it at 45 seconds to blow itself up?
You tell it, you give it that command. It does not speak. You hear, woo, woo. It sounds like it. Listen to what you said.
Okay, and then I'm going to scramble back down the wall.
Okay. I wasn't going to go to Alex. So you kind of just like slide down this very steep sort of incline. As you reach the bottom, you land on the ground, kind of walking over one of the bodies of the security that's being feasted on by another man in security, like a sort of ballistic armor. But you see as the sort of like mouth coverings that they wear like ripped apart, and he just has like broken teeth now that he's like ripping the flesh out of another one. And you're like, gross. And another one, it just seems to be running off towards a building. And he starts breaking into one of the windows, and you hear like people screaming in there as he's trying to get at maybe like a family in a home. So the 2 ships, as you guys are circling, you do hear what sounds like intense screaming and gunfire coming from the front gates, and you assume that means. Oh, actually, you're connected to them, right? So
Knowles?
yeah.
Yeah.
So you hear
The leaders.
feast on their flesh, rip their bones, and you're like, okay, that must be them. As they're like, and you can hear the whoops and the hollers as this army of gnolls and your own personal army have reached the entrance of the city. Do you guys want to head for the factory? And I'll get to Alex when he comes back. Okay.
Sure.
So you guys start making it. Start heading towards the factory itself. As you do so, it seems like a lot of the forces are now going to fight. Are you taking the ships, which are noticeable, or are you going down on foot to try to get there? If you take the ships, you'll probably have to fight stuff when you get there. If you go on foot, it's more of like a stealthy approach because the city is so busy with combat.
I'm gonna say at least Mab stealths, because why the fuck not?
Okay, that's your thing.
Do you want me to roll?
Yes, roll for stealth. What are you two doing?
Well, we're going for the factory, right?
Yeah, do you want to stay on the ship, or do you want to go off the ship and go on foot? If you stay on the ship, you're more likely to run into, like, people are seeing you, and they're like, you know what I mean? If you hop off and go on foot, like, less likely to run into as much opposition.
Okay.
You want to go on foot?
Sure.
Okay. So the ships land in this sort of park that you guys have annihilated the towers of. As you guys land, you all get off the ship. You have your two Shisuva and your large man, right? That's it?
Yeah, that's all that I have, like, with.
Okay, that's fine. So as you go walking off with them, Esther, you have just yourself.
No,
you
Mr. Marbles.
Did you leave Mr. Marbles with the gnolls?
No, I think he zapped him back after he was like, this is what he's like now.
Okay.
That's what I remember.
Do you have Mr. Marbles in your snake staff, or is he sieging the city right now? He is a siege beast. Or do you want to
Yeah, no, I think I take him with me.
Okay. So you guys land. You do not see Mav, but you are ready to go. You know he's there somewhere. I'm gonna say you're definitely on a rooftop, Mav, because you're stealthy. So you guys start making your way towards the city. As you do, Mav, roll perception.
$14.
14. So as you are going, you do notice what appears to be a sniper setting up on a rooftop near the street that your team is walking down. There's a sniper setting up on that rooftop. He doesn't seem to have noticed them just yet, but he's going to in like a second. You can hop to the building and reach him. He's probably within throwing distance if you wanted to use that, or you can get to him.
I'd like to sneak attack, chuck it at him if I could.
Okay, you love that throwing knife. All right,
It's so good.
It is really good.
It's so good.
All right, so roll to hit.
17 plus 14.
Oh my God,
Does
Jesus!
that hit?
Plus 14 to hit.
Hit / DC is plus 14.
Oh my God, you have like Alex's level of. All right, so
I'm just a sneaky
brokenness.
version.
yeah, brokenness. So as he sets up, so you guys are walking down this street. It is mostly empty as a lot of people are inside now. You can see sort of the flickering lights of what used to be Brightopolis' bright, vibrant city life is now just like kind of dying. You see sparks shooting out of different signs as the energy is trying to fight its way back. And you hear, and right in front of you slams a body of a man with a sniper rifle. And you see a blade in the side of his head that like vanishes just into sort of energy. And you're just, The two Shisuva immediately leap on him and start ripping him to pieces.
Okay.
And fighting over it. The large man just doesn't move. He doesn't react to it at all. As
He
you
just
guys start
stands
walking,
there.
the Shisuva, seeing that you guys are leaving, rip off an arm and like a big chunk of neck and start following you. Mr. Owl has a chunk of neck, and
Okay.
your other one is carrying an entire arm, shaking it violently as he goes. So, as Alex is fighting snipers in the city, we will split the party. As you guys approach Garland Brighthand's factory, the fabled Garland's Gadgets factory is the birthplace of all of his wonderful inventions, and where he first really crafted this sort of eternal energy thing. Mav, you know from those things that you read, those files that you read in the power plant, this was the first building constructed here. Well, first was the plots, those like big plots of land, and then this factory came first, and then these 4 power plants came after. This factory was the first thing to be placed after that whole weird grid was put down, that giant arcane circle. Do you remember that? Okay. So, the factory stands tall in the center of town and takes up several city blocks. You are at the front of it, but it stretches and goes backwards. This thing is huge, a monument of industry. Jeff, it's industry. So, no one knows what secrets lay within this factory, as no one is really allowed in. There's no information on it
Willy Wonka.
except what Sam has given you, and Sam...
No one ever goes in. Nobody ever comes out.
The factory itself is a mass of wide buildings and towers, all glittering with the same bright lights as the rest of the city. Now that the city's lights are dimming, the factory's lights are still lit. You can see that several of the towers have been blasted to pieces by the arcane tower off in the distance. As you do hear, one last beam flies over your head, slamming into sort of the front gate, blowing it to pieces, this large stone wall, and a huge sign that says, Garland's Gadgets just gets fucking annihilated by a beam of arcane light as it just destroys it, scattering chunks of rock. And then you hear off in the distance, as the tower blows itself up, following its final command. As you look, you can see the now open sort of entrance. It leads up to these massive, these 2 massive doors, decorated with a large symbol of Astrid, the sun and wings. You notice that as you approach these huge doors, there is actually a small, ordinary door hidden among some of the ornate designs. And that looks like it's actually the front door and not these huge, ridiculous, like, 30-foot doors. So what do you guys want to do? You're at the front entrance. You're just standing there. There's nobody around. It does seem like there were arcane turrets here as well, but they are all down. As Sam did say, it looks like overloading all of these things at once has shut down the security for this factory. What do you guys want to do?
I want a minor illusion Draxia symbol over Aristrides, as I want to do.
Okay, so as you look at it... The what?
But why?
That's the rules. You spread the symbol of Aristride as part of the deal.
No. We spread the symbol of Draxia.
Oh, I'm sorry, Draxia. I apologize. Same guy.
Silly me.
Spoiler. No. So you put the symbol of Draxia upon the door, and as you look at your work and smile, or frown, whatever Esther does, as you sit there and feel emotionless at it, you create it, and that's when you can hear, or I'm sorry, not hear, but you see after your sort of holographic image, shortly after another holographic image appears. In front of you guys this time. It sort of rises up from the ground. And it appears to be a sort of square, like a screen. And on it is the champion, Garland Brighthand. He is looks like a human man with a bald head and a goatee that curls. It's like a ridiculous curly goatee. He's wearing very extravagant clothes and appears to have some sort of bizarre staff that has kind of clockwork floating around this like light that's just sort of all over the place, like little gizmos floating amongst light. And he looks to you and goes, greetings, Terrible 3 and
Friend.
Okay, yes. Very good. I see you short-circuited my magical defenses. Very clever of you. But you underestimate the true danger here. You see, my factory is very special to me.
and I don't want to see it destroyed, obviously. However, I've been speaking to an associate of mine, and I believe I have an interesting idea. I'm going to let you explore my factory, if you wish, but I'll leave you with a warning that I hope you do consider. The further you go in my factory, the worse this will be for you in the end. Yeah. I offer you an alternative to this. Instead of reaching some sort of hideous conclusion, you could always leave. You can leave. I am giving you the option. I, as a champion of Astrid, and allowing you, evil that I see with my own eyes, to leave Marcellia alive. I think it's a pretty fair deal. I think it's quite reasonable. And I think, given everything, this is a good enough victory, is it not? You have annihilated so much and caused so much destruction, so it's ridiculousness.
That's not very Aristridely of you, is it? It
How do you
just
mean?
sounds like a very cowardly man is scared that we're going to come in and destroy all his things and then kill him.
Nonsense. I'm allowing you to walk in.
So Aristride is going to allow, you want us to walk away. You want us to just stop.
Oh, absolutely.
A champion, I thought it was a champion's duty to strike down evil.
It is. And if you enter my factory, I will.
Right. But you want us to walk away.
Well, if you walk away, my city continues to live. I will live through this. I do not fear you.
No,
But
you're
I
missing
do
the point.
fear your potential to cause mass destruction.
Don't you fear your god? Isn't this
What?
going against your god? You're going to let us walk away?
Yes. No, that's not going against... Hey, you know nothing of my god. First of all, strange bug lady. And secondly, I am trying to be merciful. I am offering you a chance to walk away. A chance to, at this point, Headhunter walks up. He has a few bullet-ridden armor, and it looks like he has blood all over his right hand. But he has arrived.
While this is going on, can I have Mav try to stealth scale the building?
Yes. Because you did walk. Yes. Roll another stealth.
Learning a lot about these champions.
25.
Fucking cow.
Oh my god, the champ! We're already fighting the
We're
champion.
not-
No,
Yeah.
Alex, it's going to be like Willy Wonka. We
It's
got
Willy
to the front of his
They
factory
walked up-
right now.
They walked up to the front door, and he is talking to them through a hologram. But you were fighting snipers, so you got back a little late.
Yeah.
25 stealth. Do you want me to roll acrobatics to climb?
As he is distracted with Astrid, you slip away. What are you attempting to do? Where are you trying to go? Climb one of the towers, or?
I'm trying to figure out where kind of he could be, because he wants them to go through it and do this whole maze bullshit.
Okay.
Or, if this is like Chain of Memories, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Kingdom Hearts. They're going to go through it. They're going to lose their shit. Something's going to happen. And it's not going to be good. So fuck that. Let's find out where he's at.
You want to try to cheat? You want to try to cheat my dungeon?
Yeah.
Essentially, you're
Yes,
like,
yes, I do.
this dungeon. How do I get to the top of the maze and just hop along the walls until I get to the
He is
end?
a rogue.
Yeah.
Okay, hold
Very
on.
roguish.
Let's see. Normally, and I will tell you this, in the new campaign, I would tell you to absolutely go fuck yourself. But in this, because this is nonsense and ridiculous, and because technically it's a factory, not this underground thing, you can have a bird's eye view of it, and you can see sort of above it, and see what buildings might look more important, what towers look like controlled centers.
Well, that and like look in windows and shit. Like I'm determined to find where this guy is.
While you're scaling, I want you to give me a perception check, and then I want you to give me an intelligence check. And give me those two numbers.
Oh,
First
wow.
perception, then intelligence.
All right, 23 perception.
That's good. That's really good.
21 intelligence.
Okay. Let me ask you something else. When it came to those blueprints, all of the schematics that you saw,
None of the schematics really talked about this, like the factory. I think I remember that you specifically couldn't find any information on the factory because he doesn't allow it. However, you did look at the actual the plot and this sort of arcane circle. Still have those papers? Did you keep them or no?
I don't think it was ever specified if I put them back or took them.
Okay.
Flip a coin or
I was
something.
to say, I would say flip a coin, or if you think.
All right, I'm
whatever.
gonna roll a d6. If it's 3 or above, no.
Why don't you just do
If
evens
it's
odds?
4, what?
Evens
Evens
odds.
odds.
All right, fine. Evens odds. Which do you choose? Which one to say that you have kept the schematics and the blueprints of the
Odds.
circles? Odds? You want odds?
I
Okay.
want odds.
What's that? Is that evens?
That's
evens, right? So you're looking over this and you're like, and then you start whipping out papers at the top of this little tower, like sitting, cross-legged, like, and start scouring through them. We'll cut back to you, but for right now, they're having a conversation. Headhunter, we go back a bit. You leap from a building, snapping the neck of one of the SWAT team, pulling out your sidearm and blasting away one of the other ones off of a rooftop. You stand up, and as you lift up his sniper rifle, you get shot in the shoulder, spin around, see him, and blast that one's head clean off. As you kind of put it down, you look around, you see both of the towers are destroyed, and you're like, what?
I didn't even
Where's
notice.
everybody? And you have no idea where your team is.
I
And
want to try to hit them up on the comm, see where they're at.
they let you know that they're making their way straight to the factory itself. It seems that they went ahead of you.
Oh, shit. I'm going to double time towards the factory.
Okay, so you start running across rooftops. As you do hear the sounds of battle and the sounds of war getting further in the city. It sounds like the gnolls have entered. And as you start running across this sort of open field, you hear boom, and you look to your right as you see an armored, sort of like this big armored SWAT van sort of roll up, and you're like, oh shit, and you pull out your gun, and you see the back doors are open, and you can see that one of your goblins is hanging on to the back, like one of the doors that's just slamming back and forth, and he's like, ah, as they just sort of drive. They seem to just be scouring the city for stuff and are collecting it. As you reach the factory, you do find your whole team sitting there, and they seem to be talking to some bald, curly-bearded man standing in this hologram, this like screen-like hologram. And as you approach, you can hear him say, "You know nothing of my god,
Judge."
And so you just walk in on this. You assume that maybe this is a champion. You don't know. Whatever. Mav isn't there. You're not totally sure what's going on. So he says, but listen to me carefully.
No, I'm hearing what you're saying.
So you're hearing what I'm saying then?
Yeah,
All right.
you're in denial.
You pick it up and I'll put it down.
You're
choosing-
gonna go to an Aristride hell when you die. He's going to denounce you. But we'll take you in.
Your demon goddess may do that. Aristrad is a god of light, peace,
Do you
and
really
order.
think Aristride would forgive you for letting us go, and because you let us go, so many more of his disciples have died?
If you leave Mercelia, yes. We won't hunt you. We don't need to.
No, you misunderstand. We're not leaving Mercelia. If we don't enter your toy factory, if we don't enter your
This is a monument to innovation.
we
This is where the light of gods themselves shine upon to see
Oh.
creation
it's a
in
god
its
complex.
purest form.
I get you. You're trying to be better than Aristride.
How
You think
Hey,
that
wait, Mr. Brighthand.
Yes.
We extend to you
I'm
the
starting
same
to get a
offer.
little flustered. What?
We extend to you the same offer. What are you getting from your god that you couldn't get from joining us? You want to be a captain of industry. You can be the capital of our new order. We have industry in motion as it is. This could be our new capital. Doesn't Brightopolis deserve that title?
Don't you
I-
care about your city?
I want you to roll persuasion at disadvantage.
Why not advantage? Because she's helping. Amanda's helping.
No, at disadvantage because
don't
you're
think
trying to fuck with the head of a champion of Airstride.
How about
Okay, it
I
was
don't know.
17 and 13 plus 11, so 24 at the lowest.
You have 11 persuasion.
Yes,
So what did you get?
24.
My God.
My city is well respected among Mercelia. It is the beating heart of Mercelia. You guys do remember that the beating heart of Mercelia belonged to the city of Valnar and was not actually Brightopolis. In fact, none of you have really heard of Brightopolis, except for that it was a lot of innovation and
Well then.
I was always under the impression in my brief time here that Valnar was the rose of Mercelia.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
They gave you 2 towers and a bubble that popped.
that's not true. That is the city for beggars.
We just
it is where
heard
poor
that
people live.
Brightopolis exists. We didn't even know it existed until a couple of days ago.
That's
We
a
thought
lie.
it was just a power
You have come
plant.
here because of my advanced innovations. You have come here to steal my secrets and destroy my immaculate works.
No.
I'm sure you have been stalking this city for months now, trying to figure out the very intricate plan of how to infiltrate my defense.
We just were under the
You've done
we were under the impression that some lunatic with like a lightning rod or something was out here. We just had to steamroll Brightopolis on our way to the capital. We didn't know what was actually here until we got here. Now we see this industry that's available to us.
You wish to use my city's industrial might to cause pain and anguish to the people of Mercelia.
To the people that have hunted us since our very first moments on this
Was it
continent.
the heart of Mercelia?
The heart of Mercelia was Valnar, yes.
Why would the king name Valnar the heart of Mercelia?
It weighed their people more than your machines.
They honestly probably don't even care about your people.
Roll persuasion, not with disadvantage, just in general.
22.
What did you
You're
say?
gonna get a champion.
What? And you see him look behind you and say, what? No. And he turns off. Seems somebody was speaking to him, and he turns off the image. After he does, the small entrance door does open. It's 2 double doors, but they're like normal. Mav,
Yes.
upon looking over these schematics, you look over the top of this thing, and you're like, okay. So the center of the factory, sort of the dead heart center of this place, might be where this thing is, but it might be down a ways.
Like underground? Or like down from the top of where I'm at?
Down from the, like, if you walked across all these rooftops of this factory to get to the center, it's sort of this large, like, dome. The center has sort of like a dome kind of ceiling. You got all kinds of spires, towers, roofs glowing, and all these random cool shit to look at. Because you looked at the schematics, the dome isn't super noticeable or super interesting, but it is now to you because the way you kind of compare it, it looks like it's dead center. And it looks like a lot of these sort of patterns of this arcane circle can join there. Now, you don't know much about arcane. You don't know what that means, but you do know that it's fucking important because anybody who looks at it would be like, yeah, it's a bullseye. Like, you know, like, yeah, that's the middle part. That's the middle part's the good part. You know, so you're kind of looking at it in that light with your intelligence check. And you're like, that's probably where we want to end up going. And as you look at this factory, with how expansive it is, we could be here forever. You could be here for a long time. And if it's anything like the city of Dis, like the Tower of Tatimba,
That's exactly what I was thinking about.
shit, this place is gonna suck hard ass. But if you have an idea of where you actually want to go, you're looking at it and you're like, okay, you can kind of plot the course. Like if you keep taking the doors that sort of lead, so east is the direction that you'd be looking right now. If you keep, west. If you keep going west, then you'll reach the center.
I get on comms. Alex, can you carry Astrid?
Yeah, she's pretty light.
Can you carry 2 Shisuba without Astrid?
Maybe if I'm berserking.
Esther, can you carry Astrid?
Or to do what?
Astrid can levitate. Fuck me. I think I found the center of this place, and if you want to avoid some timey-wimey magic bullshit, I suggest you fly up and we literally hit it from the top and bust through the glass.
Okay.
Hit it from the top of bust.
So that way we don't have to deal with some BS. But I think that it would be worth trying to get the Shisuba over here if they'll let you carry them. Esther, if you can carry one, and Alex, if you can carry another. Unless they've got freaky climbing powers, in which case it doesn't matter.
Yeah, how high can they jump?
The Shisuva?
All 3, I guess.
Okay, so the Shisuva can probably make it up as long. They can't go straight up surfaces.
Yeah.
But if there's and there are lots of different roofs with lots of different heights, they can probably leap across there if they find a way to get up to like a second story.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they can jump to like 30 feet in the air. Your big boy,
My big boy.
your big boy can get wherever he needs to get.
Okay.
He can get them places.
Okay.
He's not quite, but he's pretty goddamn scary. So, wait, what's the plan?
I think we're getting up there with Mav.
Okay, so you all want to get up to where Mav is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you levitate. Now, as you're levitating, you're like very slowly flying. I'll say that's levitating. So fly gives you like a fly speed of 60. You don't have
I don't
that.
have fly.
You're just sort of like, wah, wah, wah,
Yeah.
wah, like from Spyro, the Wum monks.
Yes.
Yes, and they're making shit float. So that's how slow you're moving. So anyway, but as you look, and just sort of rise, your scorpion tail kind of spinning behind you, and the 2 Shisuva are like, and they start going in a different direction.
All right. Excuse
They
me.
start going in a different direction, looking
Okay.
for. I'm rolling for how long it'll take them to find what they need to find. I'm not rolling for their ability to jump ability. So it takes them 6 hours. No. So as you start floating up, Headhunter and Esther, how are you guys getting up there?
I'm flying.
You have literal wings. I forgot about that. Your fucking wings rip out of your back. Do you just carry Headhunter?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. You pick him up under his arms like a little baby. Oh, baby.
Oh, I thought like fireman carry. Okay, under his armpits like a baby.
Yeah, that's what you do. So as you guys make your way up to where Mav is, Astrid, Esther, you get up there a little faster. Astrid rises very slowly and quietly and lands, and you hear, and you look down at the tower, and you see this massive man that's been following Astrid around with his gray skin and his leather jacket is digging his fingers into the side of the walls and just scaling the tower with just a deadpan face, just dead eyes looking back at you, just
Oh boy.
as it's just like, holy shit, and he's moving pretty quick. He's getting pretty fast. So it's like, oh, he's just digging like Hulk digging his hands into the fucking walls. And he eventually and rises his way up and stands, makes sure that he walks right behind you again in the same exact spot that he's supposed to be.
Yes.
To a T, exactly where he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And you can hear the 2 Shisuva growling and whooping down like a building a little bit down. Looks like they've gotten onto a rooftop, and they're just sort of pacing because they don't have their mom. So they're looking for you. What? Okay,
Wait.
so, yes?
Don't kill the 2 leaders.
Okay,
The 2 no leaders.
okay. That's not up to me, it's up to the dice. No, it's up to me. It's my game. Who gives a fuck? So, you guys are up on top of this tower. Matt?
So they're on top of the dome that I showed them?
No,
Or they're up there with me?
sort of tower. You can see the dome, though.
Okay, my
That's what you
apologies.
want to head towards?
Yeah, so I pointed out to them and I'm like, listen, did I understand you right? And it's like a glass dome, kind of looks
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
or like
It's glowing.
I think, Alex, you got sick ass rocket boots, right?
Yeah.
We could all literally you leading charge would probably break that glass better than any of us would, unless we threw Mr. Marbles at it, in which case that
that's what I
probably would
was
also work.
thinking we'd do.
I say we jump straight into there and deal with whatever's in there.
Yeah.
Okay. That's my plan. I mean, these are the maps I got, and I snap them out, and they're like upside down and shit. I'm like, but this is what I got. It's my best stuff.
You do see what appears to be blueprints of some sort of massive arcane circle. It seems like the thing that Mav was describing to you guys before, kind of roughly on comms. You are now seeing it on paper. And it looks like it matches the layout of the city itself. And the positioning of those power plants and the positioning of this. The circle that's underneath where this is several city blocks large and just very intricate with tons of like runes and shit on it. So yeah, do you guys head towards this dome?
You said there's runes on it?
Yes, drawn on it. It looks like they translate to like they're running down small alleyways and stuff. And as you look, you can try to compare it to the layout of the factory that you're looking at right now if you want.
Well, there's runes on the glass?
No, on this paper,
blueprints?
on the blueprints.
Okay.
You're not sure where those runes are here, but
Well, can I figure out what they mean?
certainly roll an Arcana.
21.
Okay, this is definitely some sort of massive arcane circle. Now, hold on. This is an arcane circle that is meant to imprison.
Oh.
And it is meant to direct. It's a combination. You know what I mean? You would use this arcane circle, something similar to it, or aspects of it, to like make a fireball more like direct and potent, like really get more energy out of it. Or you would need to put it on an object or something. Or you would use it in order to imprison somebody behind a door. Now this is a combination of both of these runes, these magic circles, and it's gargantuan. There would be no foreseeable reason to make something this huge. This is a massive amount of energy that he is trying to contain and direct.
So this is probably a trap. I imagine this is either a boss fight or a mini boss fight.
I mean, I don't think we're going to be able to get out of this with either one of those things not happening. But
it's meant to contain and then amplify some type of arcane magic.
Well, I mean, if you also go off the idea that we knew that destroying the factories before this point would lessen that, or lessen the actual seal, then we've already gotten rid of 4 other points of the circle. So if you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it, but I think it's our best shot.
It does seem to converge on that central area.
The middle?
That middle area, yes.
Can I break the glass?
Yeah, so as you guys make your way across these rooftops, floating and leaping and, rocket jumping, you do reach the glass itself. It looks pretty thick. How do you guys want to get through it? It's hard to see in there because it's just like bright light emanating from this. Like it's just like the glass itself is like glowing, like glowstone from Minecraft. You can't even really see through it.
Did you want to launch Mr. Marbles through there?
Oh yeah. Cannonball.
Okay. You call Mr. Marbles. He kind of lands on the glass. And he lifts his huge hands. You see the vines grow like larger and see sort of huge, massive balls of fists of vines and coiled metal as he and smashes the glass. And you can see he only cracks it. And he goes and smashes it again. And you just see he cracks it more. Boom, boom, boom. And he falls inward as he was standing over it, like smashing your way through ice while standing on it. And he
dug straight down.
As you guys look over the edge, you can see that what you are looking at is a jungle, like a forest.
Oh.
Vibrant and beautiful. Do you hop down?
I'm still flying.
It's several stories down. It's a pretty far jump down there.
Can I roll stealth before I hop down? Can I be that person?
Actually, you can at disadvantage.
But if I already have advantage, would that nullify it? So it's just one
Yeah,
roll?
it's just a straight stealth.
Okay.
Also, that foresight. Oh, fuck
8
it. Lasts
hours.
8 hours. God damn it. I thought it only lasts like an hour, maybe. Son of a bitch. All right.
This whole boss
Oh.
fight.
Oh, motherfucking boss fight.
22.
22.
Yes.
You scale in. Do you guys all go down?
Is this just? Should somebody roll Arcana to see if this is fake?
Yeah, let's check for traps or
Okay,
anything.
so
All right, I'll launch myself in there.
Bye.
who's rolling investigation and who's rolling Arcana?
I'll do it, kind of.
You'll do Arcana.
I'll do
Oh.
investigate.
There you go. Yeah, because I'm holding him. Look, Headhunter.
18. All right, and Headhunter, what's your investigation?
16.
16.
I don't know if I don't think I have anything. Nope.
Okay.
Just 16.
So you look at like the glass and stuff and like the entrance, and you're like, well, if it was booby trapped, Mr. Marbles would have been attacked by whatever it would be doing, as he was the one that smashed through it. And you look down, and he's down there amongst like the leaves and stuff, and he's like playing with them. He's like, "Ah!" as he's sort of playing with trees. You don't see any reason that this is booby trapped in any way, or some sort of like it would activate, you know what I mean? Unless somebody's waiting to activate it, which you don't see any signs of that. You look down with Arcana, it doesn't seem to be any booby traps, but this is intensely magical. Like there's a lot of energy in these trees, in these plants. It is like raw arcane energy is flowing through them. It looks like they're feeding on it.
What are?
The plants. You're not sure what plants these are, but whatever they are sucking up and absorbing this magic energy, this intense arcane energy, and you're just doesn't look like any kind of trap. Just looks like a weird magical greenhouse. Essentially, is kind of what you're looking at. I would say it looks like it is used to actually dull or leech or feed off of whatever energy is flowing or channeled through this arcane circle. It looks like these plants are meant to absorb a lot of it so that it doesn't like cause an overload or cause a bunch of
let's see.
That it's not excess.
I'm gonna go ahead and not in this area where Mr. Marbles and Mav have just gone. Away from it, I want to throw down a firebolt. I want to see if it catches on fire.
Okay, very well.
And I want to see what happens when it catches on fire.
So as you guys look at it, Astrid goes, and just launches a firebolt at one of the nearby trees. As it kind of hits the tree with this fire, you can see it like, and the tree sort of glows. As you're like, whoa, as it eats the arcane energy from your magical fire blast, and it's sort of, and you can see like, and the tree almost like glows, and it looks like it expands a little bit, and then like, and then goes back to being calm. And Mr. Marbles goes, and he picks up dirt and throws it at the tree because he doesn't understand and he thinks you're trying to kill it. In fact, now he goes over and starts punching it.
Yeah. I would just be careful. Well, Alex is probably fine, but us as magic users, it seems like the forest absorbs magic.
Okay. So
Brighthand might as well.
Who's going in first?
You could drop me off.
Hey, Falls. Jet boots making your landing safe.
I'll go in last.
Okay.
I take out Spite and go down.
You take out this wicked looking black sword as you float your way down on your wings. Mav,
You can stay on the ceiling if you want. The rafters, you're able to kind of grab them. It's sort of this grid. As I said, it's sort of like a dome. And as you can see, the underside of the glass, it looks like bright sunlight shooting down. That's why it was too bright to really see what's going on. But you can stay on the rafters and kind of keep your form small to the rafters to try to hide.
I'll do that.
You would have gotten disadvantage on hiding. Like, you're hiding in sunlight. You're like, aha, here I am.
Behold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so you're kind of sticking to the ceiling, and Astrid, you start lowering yourself down.
Mhm.
Okay, you're too Shasuva, just jump. And the large man waits for you to go down, and he leaps down as well.
Okay.
As you are all standing amongst this massive garden, kind of looking around, you can see just strange and bizarre plant life. There's flowers growing with sort of this like radiant light. This canopy of trees mostly obscures what is this sort of bright sunlight sky that Mav is sort of peeling and crawling. And this bright sunlight sky has just this punched hole through the dead fucking center of it, looking out at the dark sky above. There's trees there that are growing with fresh fruit. And as you kind of stand there looking around this bizarre place, you do know that a lot of the energy is radiant. It looks like it's radiant energy that is coming.
Not radiation.
No, not
Okay.
radiation. It looks like whatever energy these things absorb,
Mhm.
they give off radiant energy.
Okay.
The plants turn other arcane energy into radiant energy. I should have given you that on your arcane roll.
That's fine.
And as you guys stand here looking at this bizarre radiant forest, you swear you can hear what sounds like a woman speaking softly in a little bit past some of the tree line. And we are going to take a little bit of a break there, I think. Get some drinks, go to the bathroom. All right.
Yeah.
Pick me up.
So,
Alrighty.
ladies and gentlemen, are we back?
No.
Are
I
we
believe
ready?
so. I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, you guys, upon reaching... Oh, wait. Do we have to give you a clap, Jeff?
No.
No, because it's all in one.
Yeah.
Okay. So, no. So, upon reaching Garland's Gadgets Factory, the factory of Garland Brighthand, the mystical magical wizard of Brightopolis, you, instead of going to the front door, which he planned, which I planned, you had instead decided to try to circumnavigate the system. Did I use that word correctly, Alex? So you
I think
decided
you
to
did.
try to alter your course by Mav looking over, getting kind of a bird's eye view of the factory, and kind of cross-referencing that with the blueprints that he had taken from one of the other power plants, and looking over the arcane circle that was the layout of the entire city, you figured out the best place to go was dead center of the factory, which actually was this very large, weird dome. Upon smashing through the roof of the dome with Mr. Marbles, you realized that it was actually the roof, this sort of sunlight kind of sky roof to this radiant forest. Seems that upon Astrid investigating it, it looks as though this forest eats magical energy and converts it into radiant energy, which kind of just flows off, perhaps into the this strange sun-like ceiling that might absorb it. But what you know is that it seems like it siphons off of something, some kind of intense magical energy. Upon landing in this forest and looking around, you notice that there's fruits, there's radiant glowing flowers, this bizarre forest, and you hear what sounds like a woman speaking from a little bit off in the trees somewhere. There is no real path in here. It's all just sort of forest, dirt floor forest, you know? So yeah. You could try to roll survival to see if there's a certain direction that you might or should go and something that might lead somewhere else. But as of right now, it's just strange.
Can I see I'm assuming I also hear the voice. Can I see where anything is coming from, or does it seem to be like omnipresent, like it's everywhere?
So the voice is coming from one direction.
Okay.
And you don't
The
need
band?
full perception to what?
Nothing.
It is a female voice coming from over there.
Can I skitter along and try to get like a view down into what that might be?
Okay, so right, because
I'm on the rafters.
I'm gonna say you actually can't hear it from where you are. You're a few stories up. You're pretty
Okay.
high up there,
No problem.
and you're closer to the sounds of war and destruction that's seeping in through that massive hole.
Mhm.
I will say that you three do hear it.
I roll survival.
Sure.
I rolled 16 plus 6.
Okay, so here's what you notice. Amongst this intense flora, you looking around at the canopy, at the trees, and at the dirt, there is a path. It's very slight because it's small, because it's made up of, the path was basically caused by a bunch of tiny, weird footprints, very strange footprints. And in the canopy above you, you can see that there's like a trail of where some of the branches have been broken, or no, not broken, cleanly cut, almost like a certain swath where something would go through, and it looks like it was perfectly cut on either side. And it would be hard to notice this if you're not, more familiar with the trees and shit. But you're like, that's not normal, and this is definitely because creatures are going back and forth. But the footprints look strange. They are perfectly symmetrical, and they are not. It looks like they are like made up of perfect squares, several perfect squares, 2 rectangles like this, and a smaller one here to make up sort of the base of the foot, and then it looks like 3 like little rectangles to make up like toes, but they're
Robots?
perfectly symmetrical. What?
Robots?
Kind of, yeah, would look similar to that. Yep.
Can I roll like a history or something? Or I don't know what that would be. Intelligence?
I don't think you would know what these are.
Okay.
But the fact that you're like robots is pretty damn. That's pretty close. That's as much as I'll give you as you're kind of looking at this. And yeah. Actually, Mav, what is your passive perception?
Oh Lord, that's a good question. And my passive perception is 21.
Does anybody? No, nobody has higher than that, right?
No.
I don't know how I have that.
What is your passive perception?
12.
12. What's yours, Esther?
13.
13. And yours?
How the fuck is my passive perception that high?
You're a rogue. That's what you're good at.
I guess so.
So, Headhunter, as you're analyzing this, like, what the fuck? Is there robots here? Something that you would notice, Mav, is above the tree line, above the canopy, you can see something shoot out of it, and you're like, well, and it like kind of catches your eye because it glints off the light, and you look, and it's like brass, sort of metal, with kind of a flesh sort of piece in the center, and it like zzz, zzz, and it sort of spins, and you can see it has like little bird wings that it's flying with, fleshy bird wings, and it flies and it turns, and you can see it look to you, and it is perfectly square, this thing. It's like a cube, and
With
as it
meat
turns
in
to
it.
you, you can see that it has sort of I'm going to say it turns to you. It's a little too far away, and it starts approaching.
Me?
Yes.
So it sees me.
With your really good stealth, yes. It rose up, looked kind of back and forth, and then looked directly into your direction, as if it just sort of sensed where you were.
I get on comms. There is a strange fleshy box flying towards me, and there's no reason it should be able to see me right now.
Yeah,
Is it making any noise?
It's
Is
squeaking.
it making any noise?
Yep.
It's squeaking and buzzing like a brass monkey flying thing.
Well, and where are you? Are you on the ceiling or on the trees?
I'm on the ceiling, above the canopy, above y'all.
You look up and see. No, you don't see Mavs.
Too many
Too
trees.
stealth. Too stealth. Too many trees.
So you're like,
What is it?
I don't know.
As it approaches closer, you can see that it has it has lips in this
Ugh.
weird fleshy. Everything else about it is sort of mechanical. It's like a mechanical cube with sort of fleshy lips and one sort of fleshy eye as it's looking at you.
Don't like that.
What is
I-
it?
And
What
it
does
approaches.
say?
It is now within about 10 feet of you, and it stops.
I go quiet and kind of skitter a little bit to the left.
It follows you, but it's not doing anything, and it's smiling.
Speak to it.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh.
Can you see me?
Yes. Welcome to the Radiant Garden.
Okay. Mav just kind of Radiant. What happens here?
This is where the magical energy, the arcane energy, is absorbed, transferred into radiant energy, and sent back. It is to siphon excess.
All right, you funky little Sweezo. What do you do?
I maintain the garden.
The guard.
The garden.
The garden. Not the guard. I don't trust like that, man. I
It
got
flies a little bit closer. Who are you?
I am the construction inspector. I was up here adjusting these beams when everything broke out. When the war broke out. Do you hear those noises? I guess you have ears since you can hear me. Or I point outside. Should I
That is a
roll?
lie.
Oh, okay.
You are lying. Are you intruding? What is your name?
Mavacos Coilbone.
You give him your full name?
No!
Devil from Dis, who knows that's okay. So he goes, I see, Mavacos Coilbone. And he takes out
Can I
a portion of his body. Hold on.
on.
A portion of his body spits out a what appears to be a clipboard. It goes like flink, and he grabs it with his little brass
Before
robot
he
hands.
Can write it down. I try to kill him with the
He doesn't
dagger.
write anything down. He's reading. But do you try to kill him anyway?
Yes.
Okay.
Instantly.
So he goes, Mavacos. You are on the guest thing, and you jam him right in the head as he I am dying, and it falls to the ground, just, and the dagger disappears as you guys hear in the trees or in the bushes somewhere. Mavacos, after you do that, you hear, and you can see what looks like a whole bunch of them begin to rise out of the forest, and they look directly at you. And
I don't
they look
like
down
this.
at where the dead one is that you've killed, and they go, they go, lethal, 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 and they all start pointing at you, saying lethal.
Guys, I've got a whole swarm of these fuckers on me. He said I was on some kind of guest list.
Brighthand invited us in.
I don't like the way they're looking at me. I don't like them looking at me at all.
Well, come join us down here then.
They begin to start moving in your direction.
Okay. And I'm like,
lethal. As you fall, as you kind of land on a tree, kind of grabbing yourself on the branch, and then land with all of your friends. You guys can see what appears to be all of this swarm. They move upwards to where Mav was, and then a bunch of them go. You hear them going, breach, 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 and a bunch of them start fixing the ceiling. And you can see them they just start producing stuff out of their bodies and putting it the glass, and just start placing it there to repair it. Some of them are going to the trees and back. It seems like they're collecting something from the trees and turning it into matter in which to fix the glass. And it looks like a whole bunch of them. It looks like a pack of them are doing that, and another pack of them are saying lethal, 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 and start moving. Headhunter, you hear what sounds like, as you're down by the ground, you hear what sounds like a bunch of footsteps coming.
I want to ready myself and kind of tell everyone to get down.
Okay, now seeing as how this path is the only place that they've ever really walked across that you can tell, they're most likely going to be coming down this path as they seem to be, and they're just automatons.
To get off to the side.
Okay. As you guys, do you all try to hide?
I try. I don't think it's gonna do anything. What is that? Stealth or hide?
Stealth.
20, not nat.
Okay. You try to back off as a whole bunch of them start coming down into down from the trees. Now it's a swarm of them. Do you guys want to attack them?
No, just I guess ready ourselves.
I was gonna say, I think we should actually wait because they don't really seem like they can do damage, but who knows? They might like mega transformer Thawne into something. What are you showing Amanda that she's making stank face about?
Yeah, she does not like what they look like. So, go ahead and just don't pay attention. Okay. So, they all start swarming down from the sky, saying lethal, 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 lethal. And as they approach, I say that they don't see Mav first, just because you've hidden. They will see you later, but they're first going to see everybody else. So, I want... Whoops. Everybody's going to get hit with some stuff.
They're just attacking?
As they approach, you see that they all start producing these long, pure, like, brass sort of spikes out of their body, and they just start throwing them. Like, and just start throwing down spikes at you. Now, since there's a horde, let's actually just make you guys do dexterity saving throws instead of me rolling. So,
Dexterity saving throw?
Yes.
18.
1.
hey!
He's like, I get to do damage.
It means I get to do damage!
Do I also have to roll dex?
Dex.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, a nat 20. Plus,
Nat 20?
plus 5. Nat 20 plus 5. Why can't I get down my hits? They're probably just going to zap us with like...
You take 18 piercing damage, cut in half.
Or not.
26. For dex.
What was yours, Mav? 26?
Yes.
And what was yours, Headhunter?
Nat 20 plus 5.
All right, and Esther, you got an 18, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you guys are like, oh, shit! As they all start coming down, you take, what did I say, 17?
You said 18. Cut in half for Astrid.
18, yeah, so Esther, you also get 18 cut in
You
half.
said 8 cut in half.
No. So 18 cut in half. All of you get it cut in half, I guess, because you did it. You get it only cut in half.
6.
Yep.
Right? No,
No,
9. 9.
So you all take 9 piercing damage as they start throwing these.
Oh, even if we dodged it?
Yes, because it's just a fucking cloud of spikes.
Alex is like, my hubris.
As these clouds start, or these little spikes start like landing on you, like, oh fuck! These things aren't very big. You know what I mean? They're like maybe like that.
It's like Indian in the cupboard,
Well, not quite.
Like
Not
what?
quite like that.
where they throw the
The spear.
spiky things.
I have no idea what
I
you're
remember
talking
that
about.
movie.
It's a movie where you put a toy in the cupboard and you open it up and he comes to life.
We
Yes.
talked about this. Talia,
And then you
you
put a
never seen
dildo in
it.
it. And you open it up and it was just bloody flesh.
So these things are just sort of swarming above you, flying in circles, throwing. And as they are doing that, you hear what sounds like hop, 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 hop. And sure enough, down that trail comes another line of like 10 of these little perfectly circular ones with little legs. As they're and they just come running at you.
Anyone got some good AoE?
Yeah.
Grenade launcher them.
Do it with Headhunter.
Still.
So let's go first.
I'm grenade launching them. Don't
The
they?
ones on the ground or the ones in the air?
Probably the ones on the ground.
Okay. So that's 3D.
That's gonna land somewhere.
They all take a dexterity saving throw, which I don't think they do very well with because they're silly little critters.
they get +1 dex.
Oh,
No,
wow.
not good enough.
That's what I like to hear.
So I'm just gonna say this. So you blow up about 5 of them as you. It just explodes. Now, here's the thing: your gun does radioactive damage. Everything on it, it's radioactive. You are in an intensely magical forest. As you and create this sort of cloud of radiation that kind of starts eating everything. It's not like a rad grenade where it stays there for like ever, but it does sort of blow up and cause radiation damage. And you see that where the shrapnel hit the trees, you can see that the trees, like, they can't absorb it, and it kills a small portion of them. It starts hurting the trees around it, where your magical fire did like nothing. It hurt it, but it just ate it and turned it into energy. It can't do that with his stuff. It can't combat that. So the 5 drones just fucking blow apart. And you hear them all, the other ones go, lethal, 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 and they start throwing those little javelins. But you all get to go. So, Esther, we'll just go.
I want to cast Firestorm and make like a wall in front of us.
Wall.
Firestorm?
Yes.
Firewall.
Firestorm. But I want to arrange the blocks in a wall.
Okay. All right. So, you... That's those like huge pillars of fire you're creating.
That's right.
Okay. In front of what? In front of the 5 remaining little drones on foot, or in front of the flying ones?
The flying ones.
In front of the flying ones. Okay.
Engulf them if possible.
Yeah, you can. With Firestorm, you can most definitely hit them with it. What do I have to roll for that? Dexterity.
Dexterity 19.
Oh, they boned.
I'm not getting up.
I got an 18.
Oh.
Yeah.
So close.
I don't believe it. Reroll. They have disadvantage.
I got an 18. I needed to get a 19.
I accidentally rolled a D100 and I saw 409 and I was like,
Yeah. So you do 409 damage as you look upon it and just as these huge pillars of fire just devastate. And as you blast at it, you're like, oh my god, that was way too powerful. Like, oh, like it almost hurt your hand to do it. And you're like, why? And you realize it's because you're in this weird magical forest and you almost tapped into a portion of it as you launched this fireball. It enhanced your magic.
oh.
Now, as you did that, you felt this sort of energy coming from the soil itself, from the ground where because you're standing, right?
Yeah. Oh, no, I mean,
Now
I'd be like hovering a little bit.
Oh, then never mind. Then you did normal damage.
Okay.
I thought you were standing on the ground. If you're not standing in the soil, you don't get the benefits. So then normal damage, but it's enough. Because Firestorm's a fucking crazy spell. As you just launch this fire, you see all of them like, it's almost like a bunch of mini fire tornadoes you just made that just start devastating the shit out of these things as they're just getting fucking disintegrated in there. And you hear them like, and just sort of get fucking annihilated.
They're like the little repair droids in Phantom Menace.
Kind of, yeah. Astrid, was
Made out of flesh.
you wanted to do?
Are there still some of them, or are they all?
Yeah, there's 5 of them coming at you that are about to throw spears.
All right, I'm gonna use major image, and the illusion that I'm gonna make is of Garland Brighthand.
Okay.
I want him to come out of the forest and be like, "What are y'all doing? Like,
What are you all doing?
they're on the guest list.
They're on the
Why
guest
are you
list.
attacking them?
Come on, why are you attacking them? I thought I'd throw them a little extra spice there.
No, that's
Oh, okay, thanks. And they...
Come on now.
Come on now. Okay. And they just lower their thing.
Bring them to my office chamber.
Office chamber.
Bring them to where they're supposed to be. Come on.
They are supposed to be in the factory. Where would you like us to bring them?
Where am I supposed to be?
You are in the factory.
Where do I usually hang out?
We do not know.
What
Where
is
would you
this
like us to
game?
bring them?
My head hurts.
Bring us to the what is it? The center of the place. Like bring us to the most pretty important. Wouldn't that be a good idea? Or
You would like to go to the core?
sure, said the disembodied voice somewhere.
We are never to allow anyone to go to the core.
Do I go to the core? Says the illusion.
Do I go to the core?
I go to the court.
We do not know. Do you go to the core?
Jesus
Of course
Christ.
I go to the core.
Nobody goes to the core. No way, no how.
I am confused. I am also confused. Do you want us? What do you want us to do?
Astrid, it's up
I
to
don't
you.
know. They don't know anything. I don't know.
Send them away.
Go away.
Okay.
What the hell are we doing? What are we doing here?
Listen, it looks like the best plan of attack to me, but there's some kind of core that could be important, right? Maybe it would make this whole place blow up if we found it and hit it hard enough.
Okay. I want Mr. Marbles to come closer to me because I feel like I keep losing track of him. Okay. What does anybody have like a detect magic or anything for this core?
I think I do.
Do you?
I think one of my items allows me to
I was
do
to say, if you detect magic, isn't it just going to detect the whole fucking forest?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Well-
here.
Do you want to cast it?
Uh,
It will. So it basically it makes magic items like glow and magic energies glow. Kind of. It like really makes you
gonna
can
go
lock in
blind.
right on them.
Did I use the Skull of Armonite summoning?
Nope.
I didn't use it?
You've
Was
never
that the
used
thing
it.
that you let loose on when we were fighting
Oh my god,
the
you did
vampires?
use it.
Did use
Yes, you did use it.
Sorry,
Was it
I hate to be-
one-time use.
Poops at parties, but
No?
I don't think it's not a consumable.
He
Okay.
poops at
That's just
parties.
I'm the party pooper.
Hang on, I'm still looking.
Yeah, you did it during the war, I think.
Yeah.
When you attacked
Yeah.
the console.
Maybe I don't have it. I might be wrong. I might be
Wrong.
completely wrong.
Oh, that would have been cool.
I could have
That
sworn I had like an item that did it.
Hmm.
Shallow and pedantic.
It's called detect magic.
Yeah, no, I do with
You
the
do?
spectacles of the Rakshasa.
Ah, yes. So as we dig into our bag
Yeah,
of
I-
miscellaneous
digging
shit
through.
Evan has given you over the years, so you wait, I got something for this, and you start digging through a bag that's probably made out of people skin or something.
And I want to focus on this random core that I've just been explained to is somewhere in here.
So you put on the underboss's glasses, and as you put them on, yes, sure enough, this entire place is glowing very bright, and you're like, oh my god.
Wait.
But beyond that, you are standing. What?
No. Go ahead.
Beyond that, you see that a lot of the light is emanating from your feet, and you look down, not from your feet, but from under your feet, and you look down at the entire soil. All the ground that you're standing on is like intense pure light, and it's almost like you are standing on, and you can see it just past the light because it's even more powerful. It's like you're standing on a fucking sun. A pure giant orb of pure raw fucking magic that you are just on top of. And it's probably like, it's so potent that it looks like it's right there, but I'm going to say you can tell that it's probably about half a mile down below you,
Okay.
just in the ground.
Eat the dirt.
Huge. The energy that it's giving off is huge.
Dig, Mr. Marbles, dig.
And he starts digging up dirt. It will take him a while. So as you, and I will say, at that you hear the voice of a woman say that exact thing. It's going to take him a while. And from behind a tree, Mav, you see the champion, Dr. Beatrice Trice, who you spoke to
The
earlier.
real one? Or is it?
Perhaps
Does anyone else see it?
She is walking out onto the right there onto the path where you are. She is in her sort of business suit kind of attire.
Do we all see her?
Yes.
Okay.
She has a clipboard in hand and short hair. And she goes, "So is this your plan then, to dig down until you find the core?" Yes.
Can I get my goo to stop up my ears?
Okay.
Just like,
You do so.
okay.
Oh, hello. I am Dr. Beatrice Trice. I believe your companion said that she spoke to me.
Do I hear her still?
Yes.
Ah!
Just like you did before.
I turn around and I start walking away. And I tell them, like, literally do not listen to her. If you can just stop listening to her, that is the best thing to do.
Well, I was actually hoping that we could talk.
If I haste away, if I'm 80 feet away in 6 seconds, do I still hear her?
Do you want to join our cause?
What cause would that be?
The liberation of the Marcellia. We're liberating everyone from Aristride's tyrannical ways.
Okay, this is the DM asking you. Is that something that you need to... are you being truthful? Does she truly believe that? Or is that something that Astrid is knowingly lying about to be funny?
Truly believes it.
I mean,
we
we
are
are kind
doing
of
it.
delusional.
I've said this before. I said it in Quartal Court as well. We're liberating these people.
So does she truly believe that she's...
I'm being an asshole, but we're liberating the people.
Okay.
Even if it kills them all, whatever. I don't know.
So, yeah. That's serious. So you do believe that we are tyrannical?
I mean,
Just say yes.
you take away, you lobotomize people who don't share your beliefs.
My re-education system.
Mhm. It's
Yes,
awful.
it's not quite perfect yet, is it?
Yeah, no, I guess it's not.
Very close.
Almost.
Now you-
She was the
Almost.
one who liked
Yeah.
us, huh?
So Esther,
Yeah.
upon hearing that, you're like,
Hey, you
This
just hear
bitch.
the kitchen bell, tick 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 ding. Wait,
yes, I have developed the re-education system, and it was just almost perfect. But people such as yourselves and a few others, as you've met when you took over my prison, were able to overpower it. How were you able to do that? Was there a moment? Was there a system in place? Did you?
I'm going to
push it
say it's
out of your
probably
mind?
because you weren't there to defend it. You let everybody down.
And how did I do that? Or are you trying to upset me?
No, I'm being honest.
How was I not there?
You weren't there.
By leaving you on the
Daddy
island?
wasn't there.
No.
By leaving you unattended on the Green Iris?
Are you No, what the fuck are you talking about?
I
We're
oversaw...
talking about the prison.
Oh, Holy Stone Mine. Yes, no, I wasn't going to stay there.
I'm confused.
But that's not how you reawoken. I
What?
oversaw your re-education, personally. You, and you.
I think we're having two different
Not the other
conversations.
Can I
Not
kill
really.
him now? Or her?
Yeah.
Now, you, it was incredibly effective on, and she points to you, Esther. It worked wonders.
Wait.
You, almost, and she points to you, Headhunter. And you, almost. But after you left the Green Iris, you were perfectly fine. You purged yourselves of it. How did you do it?
Wait, does Astrid actually want me to kill her?
Astrid, do you say that?
Yeah.
So she's the leader.
She's the one I'm most fearful of.
Do you say that?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, could it be that you're not sure how you escaped?
No, we're
Oh,
sure.
I know how I escaped.
How was it?
That island
Or you
sucked.
just wish not to tell me? All right, I see. I get it. You don't want to speak to me, is that it? Very well. Perhaps it's these surroundings. Shall we step into my office? Yes, let's. And I want all of you to make wisdom saving throws.
Don't like that.
I'm 80 feet away. Do I have to make a wisdom saving
Are you
throw?
how far away?
I hasted the fuck away from her. Which is like what? If my base speed is 60,
So,
it's times 2, so it's actually 120 feet away.
so you are sprinting full force through the forest. Her voice has not gotten quieter as you're running away because it's not emanating from her. It's in your mind. And as you are hauling ass away, I want you to make a wisdom saving throw. So, everybody tell me what you got for your
Wisdom saving?
wisdom saving throws. Yes.
I rolled a 13.
20,
22.
but not 20, but
22?
not natural.
That is good. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. What did everybody else get?
23.
23?
20.
20?
13.
Headhunter? Okay, so you three save. As she says, let's step into my office. And she very quickly looks to you, Esther, looks to you, Astrid, and then looks to Headhunter. Mav, you're still
Sprinting.
No. And Headhunter, you're like, what is she? And his eyes sort of go wide. And Headhunter, you are standing in a beautiful office. It has a large,
Does he disappear?
comfortable couch. Nope. It has a large, comfortable couch. It has a large, like, mahogany desk. And sitting at it is the same woman that you were looking at before. And she is sitting behind the desk with that same
Do we
clipboard.
feel that she was just trying to mess with our brains?
Do you mean, was she being insincere?
No.
Yes.
No.
Magically
do you
feel
feel
that
her
she's trying to-
whirling
You
around
did
in
get
there.
like dizzy, and then you see Headhunter is just sort of staring off into space.
Nope. I'm gonna snap my fingers and I want my big guy to charge her.
Okay, Headhunter, you were standing in the strange office staring at her, and she goes, "Hello, Alex. How are you?" And you snap your fingers, and your huge gray-skinned man charges her as Datusha Suva, and go right through her. And she's looking at you. Oh my. Headhunter, you were standing in this office. She goes, "Now, Alex, correct me if I'm wrong. That is your true name, isn't it?"
Yeah.
Okay. You came from the city of Red Nine, did you not?
Yeah.
Must have been hard. It seems like a difficult place to grow up.
Actually beautiful there.
Really? What about it?
What the hell is this? What do you want?
I have a
Get out of my head!
I'm sorry. It is in my nature to ask. I like to get to know people. I like to learn about people. And I have a few questions for you. For instance, you chose to accept Draxia's offer for money alone in the beginning, correct?
Yeah, money's pretty good.
Money is good, of course. You can do a lot with it. You've done a lot with it. Is material wealth the only reason that you still attack Marcellia?
No, because I want to decapitate that king.
Ah, yes, you want vengeance. Of course, on King Tanagar, as he was the one that threw you into the Green Iris, correct?
Well, I also came this close to shooting his ass off the ship.
It's true.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, and he saved himself, didn't he?
No, I actually rolled high enough, but the demon was like, I can't kill him off this ship. And then he caught himself on the ledge somehow.
Right. It's probably because he has legendary resistances.
No, probably.
Do we get a turn now?
Shit, he just rolled that high?
Answer question. So vengeance is what it's all about. Destroying the king. And in essence, everything that he rules over.
Yeah, and melting his city down for all the gold in the world.
Have you ever considered the fact that you were put in that position? On purpose.
By whom?
Well, whom do you think?
What do I
Guy
think?
named Evan.
Destiny.
Destiny or Draxia? Was Draxia the one? Draxia is a goddess, after all, a demonic goddess, but a goddess nonetheless. She should be able to see the future. Do you think she placed you here on purpose to ensure that you would need vengeance against the king, hence playing directly into her hands? I want you to roll a wisdom save.
14.
14?
Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot of sense, what she's saying. That makes a lot of sense. Boy, that does make a lot of sense. You know, you don't quite believe it as fact, maybe. You're still left to interpret it. She's not controlling your mind and making you see the way she wants you to see it. But she definitely is making a good point. That's a question you didn't really ask yourself before.
Well, if she did, she's still paying me for my services.
She is?
She's giving me some kick-ass shit.
To do what with?
My job.
Your job of destroying Marcellia, correct?
Yeah.
Seems like that's really what she wants.
I don't care what she wants as long as she's paying.
As long as she's paying for now. Who's to say she won't collect that after it's all done? And we're going to jump right back to you guys. Headhunter is just standing there. It's only been like 2 seconds. The guy just ran through her form and it disappeared. And she goes, oh my. Does anybody else want to do something? Yes?
I wanna go up to him. I want to shake his shoulders, and I want to say, listen, she's not real. She's in your head. If you got free from my business, then you can get free from hers. And I want to slap him as hard as I fucking can against his face. And as my hand touches his face, I'm casting Foresight on him.
You're casting Foresight?
Mm-hmm.
That's excellent. She goes, oh my. Headhunter, I would like you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Nat 20.
Ooh.
You and you wake up and you are suddenly in the forest. Your face hurts and you can see Astrid standing there.
What happened?
Oh my. Well, it seems you have a lot of aggression that you need to work out. Perhaps we can talk about it.
No.
I want you to roll wisdom saving throw.
Fuck this bitch.
Yeah, welcome to what I had to deal with alone.
I hate
A
wisdom
session ago.
saving throws.
27. We
Oh,
won't be talking about anything. In fact, we're going to be going now.
Where?
If you want to talk to us, maybe do it in person.
No.
Well, then you don't
You'll
get
kill me.
you don't get the privilege of speaking with us.
he has a point. We would kill her.
Yeah, but now we're definitely going to kill you.
Why?
We'll make it
Because
painful.
you're in our brain.
Yes, I'm trying to reach you. I'm trying to speak to you.
All right, do it in person.
No.
Well, then get out. And I want to
Where
try to
are
force
you?
her out.
Where am I?
Are you in this factory?
No. But I am somewhere safe. Are you seeking my destruction next?
I mean, you're on the list.
That's fair.
Can I force her out?
How?
I don't know.
With what?
I don't know. My pure will?
No. Just sort of here. It's as long as her ability lasts, it's her ability to do this.
Can I
You assume
try?
this is a spell she's doing or something, but the champions can do a lot of weird, powerful stuff. Yes, Astrid?
Can I try to detect thoughts on her image?
Absolutely. So, what does she roll?
Wisdom 19.
Oh, yeah. She got a 25.
Hmm.
So, as you do that, she instantly looks over to you and goes, Esther Craven? That's
Yes.
not your real name, is it?
I want to know, to be honest.
You were?
I don't know. if you could really say that one way or the other.
Got a lot of issues in there.
Some might say.
Well, this has been less helpful than I was hoping. But either way, continue with your work here. I'm sure Garland will be quite excited to test out his little toys with you. And I hope that we can speak in the future. Good day. And she just walks away.
All right.
Mr. Marbles has dug a hole about 30 feet down because he's huge and he's a siege beast, so he's just...
But he still has a ways to go, huh?
So say, how long is a mile in feet? Like 500 something, right?
It's like half a mile, and he's done like 30 feet, so... Yeah, he's got a little while to go. So yeah, do you guys have a plan now?
While I've been running around, have I noticed any doors or anything?
Hey, wait.
So, yes? Astrid?
I'm sorry. The core, is it just like molten magic? Or is it like...
No idea.
From what we can tell, right? Like, Astrid looked down and just saw.
No, I don't think I saw the actual core. I just saw that the ground is intensely magical. Confirmed, denied?
Yes.
Okay.
Out of game, I say we probably don't want to punch a hole in something like that, because that's asking for some wild magic fuckery. But in-game Mav would have no idea. Like, it's just...
Okay. So, you guys are standing in here, currently digging in the Radiant Garden, trying to dig your way to wherever this energy is coming from. This entire time, a group of the drones have been building and fixing the roof. As they replace it and finish the final piece, kind of sliding it into place, this intense light comes back again to the room, shining even brighter than it was before. And you hear booming over the loudspeaker, well, it seems that you have you didn't do what you were supposed to, which I don't appreciate. You were supposed to investigate my factory. I had a lot of fun things I wanted to show you, but instead you decided to jump to the center. I don't like that.
Where's this coming from?
You are cheating, just all around you, just loud from the forest. And I see that you have found my Radiant Garden and are disrespecting it. I cannot believe it. So, here's what we're going to do. You want to fight.
No.
Is that it?
Yeah.
No.
What?
Yeah.
What do you want?
I thought we were having a really nice conversation before.
What? No, you have come here to try to take what's mine.
No,
Brighthand, where is that doctor?
What?
I forget her name.
Dr. Trice isn't here.
Where is she?
I don't know where she hangs out. She has her own weird place that she goes.
Loosely? Like a city?
Holy Stone Mine, but you've destroyed it.
So she's not there anymore.
No. Listen, you. Tell that behemoth, that disgusting beast, to stop digging my Radiant Garden.
Mr. Marbles, dig faster and with more gusto.
This is ridiculous, and I have had enough of it.
Mr. Brighthand, have you considered our offer?
I have... You have offered me nothing except destruction to all that I know and love.
We offered you
Life.
your life and transformation. What's more
Also-
beautiful than a caterpillar turning into a butterfly?
Also, so that you could actually be the heart of Marcellia. A title that rightly belongs to you, that you don't actually have.
I never heard of him before.
We're offering you what your god cannot give you.
I was going to
And
say,
hasn't given you.
you serve your god. Have you ever actually spoken directly to them? We have spoken to gods from other worlds and worked side by side with them. Seems like you're only ever serving below Astrid.
Advantage.
Roll roll
There's
persuasion.
3 of us doing this.
This is why you're not getting disadvantage on this. You are trying to
17 plus 11, 28.
17.
I am not to speak to Astrid. It is King Tanagar who is his voice.
So you're a servant to a servant.
Did that bitch rehabilitate you?
Oh.
Silence. You guys stand there in the forest. And you hear booming now from one specific direction. Enough! And you see like intense wind and energy kind of blast a bunch of the leaves and trees, and you see standing in a clearing that's basically cut a swath through the forest, the same direction that the Modrons seem to go through. You see a figure floating, and he has this beam of energy that kind of touches the ground and stays connected to the ground, and a beam of energy shooting up to the ceiling, touching this dome ceiling. And as he is standing there kind of floating there, he has this staff, and you see it is Garland Brighthand himself, with his big curly beard, his bald head, his strange clothes of kind of blue and silver, and this staff of clockwork and energy. And he goes, "That's enough! You speak of things you do not understand. You talk to me of my king and my god. I am a man of industry and innovation. I have created all that you see before you. I am the heart of Marcellia." You are upsetting him.
We beat re-education before. We have created our own industry.
I am not re-educated!
What were you before Eris?
He educated to me.
Do you remember?
I was an inventor. A crafter of paltry trinkets. Astrid gave me the clear vision. He gave me sight beyond sight to create the incredible things you see in this factory.
And then
the things you would have seen.
and then
he looks right there. He looks around for where you are, Matt, but he can't find you.
And then he brushed you under the rug, hid you under a rock.
Mav, I want you to roll perception. No, give me your passive perception. What is it, 21?
Yeah.
Okay, Mav, you notice as you run, you trip and eat shit in the ground. You're like, ow, what the fuck? And you look, and there appears to be on the ground what looks like it was once underground, but it looks like one of the roots has pushed it up. It is some sort of cord, like thick metal cord that's just kind of sticking out of the ground. And you look, and you can see that where it would be going, it's leading to something that looks like a tree, but is not. It is some sort of mechanical apparatus, and there's a small whirring sound coming from it. Do you want to investigate it?
I stealth and investigate, absolutely.
Okay, you do. We're coming back to you guys. What did you just say to him?
And then he swept you under the rug.
He did not. I've created marvels.
He hid you from the world.
I created a city. I've created endless energy. All I had to do was chain that fucking thing, and I have all the energy I need. He gave me the circle. He taught me how to harness it. Yes?
Can I hear him?
Yes.
Or is it just like...
No, you can hear it. His voice is booming unnaturally. He is trying to be as intimidating as possible.
Gotcha, no problem. So I can hear what he's saying.
As he is shouting about, he gave me the knowledge of this circle, he gave me the thing. You follow it to this strange tree, and you can see that it is not a tree. It was disguised as one. And as you kind of investigate it, roll intelligence for me. Straight intelligence.
So that would be intelligence plus the modifier on my intelligence, not the save. Okay.
You roll a d20 and then add the modifier on your intelligence.
18.
Okay. This is some kind of some sort of generator, it sounds like. You know, it's strange enough, but it looks like it's connected to... It's farther towards the edge of this forest, and you see that there's wall. It's like solid steel wall. And it leads, and it looks like it's cords touching the wall and you're like, okay, this powers something. And as you kind of look, you can see that these are a little different, and if there's more of them, you'd definitely be able to recognize them, that this is powering something. This thing is for something.
So the generator is pushing energy out rather than siphoning energy in. From what I can tell.
It is keeping something running. Whatever this is providing, it's providing energy to something. Instead of like doing what the rest of the trees are doing. But you don't really know for the magic part. This seems to be pushing it somewhere. You are trying to place doubt in my mind. And I want you guys to roll persuasion. Who wants to be you were doing it mostly, so you roll persuasion.
Heat of the Moment by Asia is playing right now.
Why that one?
I don't know. It came to me. I just turned it on.
I miss playing music. I can't wait till we're all together again so I can play music for us. 14?
24.
Oh, 24? I was chosen to be the innovator.
It seems kind of like you're just making trinkets to him. Wouldn't you like to show the world, show all of Mercelia the things you can create?
We have warehouses.
Wouldn't you want to show the king what you can create?
I have.
Have you?
He's been kept in check.
He looks to you, Headhunter. What do you say?
I said you've been kept in check.
It seems like he's just letting this city fall.
Imagine what you could do if you were limitless.
Roll persuasion with advantage this time.
I have advantage on my
Okay.
persuasion.
That's double advantage. She gets to roll 4 times.
That was better than the last one.
Shit.
You got an 18.
Yeah, 18.
18 plus anything?
No.
Okay. He has his reasons for not saving the cities. He has his reasons for not coming to our aid. He is the king. He has his reasons. He expects us to be able to defend our own cities.
He came to Valnar.
What?
He defended Valnar.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Well, he likes Valnar a lot more. They have done a lot more.
No, he didn't. Deception?
Okay.
Are you doing a deception?
Am I lying?
Yeah, he never...
No, he came to
never
Stillport.
He never sent any.
He sent his armies and stuff, didn't he? To Valnar?
When we first took the tree and we were going back and forth between Valnar.
I thought you meant him himself. He has not... The king has barely done anything to save the champions and save his cities. I don't know if you guys have noticed that.
Yeah.
Very, very few and far between. He did send forces to the tree to try to root you out, but not really to Valnar.
Astrid, say that. Say once Carla got, he abandoned you, champions.
That's essentially what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even before that with Henlet. Those were like
yeah, but we were quick with Henlet, and that was before
true.
we.
Like a
He never really lifted a finger to help Stillport. So, persuasion with advantage. You are breaking him down. You can see him upset and confused. Do you want to do anything with this generator, or do you want to try to? What do you want to, do you want to? Do you just want to leave it alone for right now? Because you can hear them arguing with him.
I want to follow the cord to the wall. And you said there are other cords going to that wall, or the cords seem to just branch out?
I'll be right back.
So it seems like there's a big fat one that led to this generator that was from the inside of the forest, and then there's just like a couple that go into the wall. The big fat one goes further that way.
I'm going to follow the big fat one then.
You follow it to another one.
Is there another big fat one?
Yes, going another direction. And it looks like, by how you're looking at it, looks like it's the one cut through, and it's going to go around.
So they're all connected to each other rather than connected to something in the center that I can see.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the ones that I see, it's the little cords going out and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take a look at the generator itself then.
Okay. Roll Arcana.
Oh.
Yeah, because it is magic that it's dealing with, but
I'll screenshot it if you want me to. It's a nat 20 on my first roll.
ooh, this is some sort of very powerful like force field. It's force magic, and it's to power some sort of great and powerful like shield. You would think these are like smaller versions of those little power plants that you just blew up that were made to keep the force field and the whole city in power. Whatever this protects, you're not sure. But it definitely, because you'd have to like look into the intricacies of how it's made and everything, but it definitely protects something. It keeps something super force fielded.
Can I calm just to one person, like a
Yes.
DM? I DM Esther.
Yes.
How's it going with Big Boy over there?
Mr. Marbles?
No, the guy you're talking to, the bright boy.
He seems flustered.
I found what appears to be a smaller scale version of the things that I blew up with my team. I'm inclined to say I start ripping shit apart while you have him distracted if you think it's not going to work. If you're not,
Wait, how big is it?
I'm assuming
size
it's
of-
taller than me.
It's about the
What's
size
the
of
size
a tree.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's tree sized.
Can Mr. Marbles carry it?
Yeah, but there's a bunch of them.
Oh.
But
How
I
many?
think, can I make an assumption like 5, 8?
You would assume there's probably like 4 of them because that's how many, power.
I'm guessing at least 4.
And they couldn't fit through a doorway?
They couldn't fit through a doorway.
Not
I
a
mean,
normal doorway.
not a normal you and I doorway. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
You'd have to break the door frame.
Yeah.
And smash and grab, I guess. Smash it.
I mean, I'm just saying, as soon as I start whacking on this shit, it might set up an alarm. If you guys think you're close, I can give you some more time.
If you have like explosives or something, set them, but give us some more time. I think we might be on the breakthrough of something.
All right.
But I'll give you the signal.
I'll wait here. Mav plops his ass on one of the tree
I
roots.
want Mr. Marbles to start going towards. Is it far away? How far away is Mav?
Nah, he can get there. He can start
All right.
making his way over there.
Yeah, do that.
So you got an 18,
19.
19. He said that he was on the brink of something great, that he needed. He said that he was in touch with our God and that he needed to stay in the city.
Mm-hmm.
It's convenient while he sends you to die. Where is he now?
He's in his city.
Mm-hmm.
The heart of Mercelia? Doesn't seem like he's anywhere close to the heart. If that's what he's the happy
Aaron
portion
Gold.
he's feeding you.
He's the captain.
Yes. Correct. We know that. We're trying to open your eyes to the fact. He feeds you happy marketing about your town to keep you busy and working.
Let me ask you, are you feeding him this energy?
I keep the lights on in the whole kingdom. My endless energy, my eternal energy, powers every source. What? Why? It is something to be proud of.
Yeah, no.
I've achieved eternal energy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. What do you want?
To free you.
To liberate you.
One more persuasion. Who wants to do it? You? All right.
20.
20. Sacrifice. What? And he looks behind him again, saying, yes.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, yes.
Sacrifice. Sacrifice.
He's got
Everything I've worked for. Everything that I have made. No. I will not. You will not take it from me.
No, don't let him.
And you see him grab his staff and rise it. If I cannot have it. And he slams his staff downward, and you see a beam of energy shoot more into the dirt, into the earth, and further down. You hear it, and he's shooting energy down into the ground. He will not take my city from me. He will not stand on the shoulders of giants and claim perfection. He does not speak to Astrid, and he will not have me. And you hear, as this energy is crackling downward, you hear some terrible kind of rumble. And he looks to all of you. You have taken down every champion you've fought. I thought I too would die at your hands. I had contingencies, but I could see they don't matter. They don't matter if who I'm working for is using me for nothing. Run now if you can. And he twists two parts of the staff, and the beam grows even more powerful and red. And you can hear, Mav, these generators are still going at normal kind of capacity. Whatever he's affecting, it doesn't seem that these affect whatever that's affecting. But whatever he's affecting is dead center of this magical circle and is causing everything to sort of rumble.
Are you ready to rumble?
Wait, so he's blowing everything up?
He
You could ask him.
said,
You want to ask him?
run.
You made it very. He was already kind of an unstable guy, and you
All
sure
right.
did push him in a
I want to open
direction
his,
that made him
open
feel
his,
hopeless.
I want to open his soul box. Guys, get in.
I'm gonna jump in.
As you just open a soul box.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this tree, right? And you said that nothing's really happening?
Nothing.
So whatever he's affecting isn't. It looks like these were powering they were powering some sort of force field, but it's not something that he's affecting right now. So, but whatever he's doing is causing this entire place to sort of rumble.
Okay. I start fucking around with the wires and pulling shit out of them.
You start ripping out the wires, and you can see that the force field that is, or you guys see that the force field that is around him starts to shimmer and alter, and his beams that go to the ground and to the ceiling are like flickering, and he's, try as you might, Arcath cometh, and she will bring ruin. He goes, ah, fuck you! You've been in my mind for years! I am tired of this! I am tired of living like this! I have not been a human for 200 years! I have felt nothing!
I hear this.
So she did rehabilitate you.
Guys, get in the box. Guys,
You
get in
open the
box.
soul box.
In the box
You open
already.
the soul box, and you start backing up into it, guys. Soul box, soul box, soul box. Alex, you've seen enough bombs to know that this seems like in some sort of. You jump in. Astrid, do you go in there?
Magical
with your big
nuke.
boys?
Mhm.
You guys get in. Mav, you start running. The ground, you see not this radiant light, but crackling lightning bolts of like purple and fucking blue and red start blasting out of the ground and slamming into the walls and into the ceiling, this great dome ceiling, destroying pieces of it. Something beneath your feet is blowing up. You see portions of the ground as one great sort of lurch cracks a whole bunch of the ground that you stand on, and a whole portion to your right falls beneath. I want you to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Me?
Yes.
No problem. I can do that.
That's
Could
so
Mr. Marbles fit through the doorway, or should I just dismiss him?
I would dismiss.
I would dismiss him.
I would dismiss him. I mean, he doesn't. If he dies, it doesn't matter. He's like
No,
a
I
second
know,
thing,
but-
Did you say
I
saving?
know. I know
or
you love him. What'd you get?
Saving or dex?
Saving throw. Dexterity saving throw.
19 plus 11.
How are those
30.
things reacting?
30. So as the
Holy
ground to your
shit.
right falls beneath you, you're like, holy shit, and you pick yourself back up. The ground beneath your feet gives way, but a tree kind of falls. As you leap from the ground, as it's falling beneath you, you look, as you leap to this tree that's kind of, falling inward, you start running up the tree, this radiant tree, as parts of it start glowing and exploding with lightning. You leap across this chasm, and you can see down beneath you. It looks like the earth is being eaten away by some great and terrible light. Something intense, red, purple, orange, crackling and shifting, ever changing. As you're like, and you jump across that like, fuck whatever that is. As you can see now, fire starts erupting from a certain points. You see lightning. Esther, you look out and you can see what appears to be just a giant wall of icicles just down one line, as you can see just a beam, like a laser beam of energy, just kind of cut through it. Whatever is down there is ridiculous and chaotic. He is bringing down his entire factory and destroying it. And as he stands in the middle, he goes, I will be free of this hell. And he's screaming to the sky. As you can see, what he's standing on gives way. And you can see him just fall down beneath it as he just falls into wherever it is he just went. And you can see just boom, like a beam of energy fire up. Mav, you start running and you see the soul box in front of you, and I want you to roll one more dexterity saving throw.
21.
21.
21.
Okay, you leap, and as you do, you dodge what appears to be just a huge gout of necrotic energy that just kind of blasts out of the ground as you're like, motherfuck, and slam into this soul box. Esther, everybody's in the soul box. Do you shut it?
Close the door.
Yep.
And then can we hear anything on the outside, or are we
I
in the
was to
desert
say, what does
now?
it look like? Are we just in a room, or are we just like
So-
jammed up next to
So
each other?
as soon as you shut it, all sound goes away.
It's
All
8 by 8, right?
I want to.
It's 30
it's
by
like
30.
10,
It's a
10 by 30. Yeah.
It can be made of stone or wood, whatever kind
Oh,
of.
so there's plenty of room for like the Shasupa and the boy too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's plenty of room. I like to. I don't know what does it look like. What is it, Esther's thing?
I would picture the black box.
It's usually just a stone like basement,
Okay.
like
So
nothing,
just
but nothing is in it.
the same kind of cold stone that he has that sort of makes up his keep.
In the creamery. I
As you
want
guys are
to
just sitting there.
ask everybody to join hands,
Okay.
So
Why?
and I want to.
Oh, actually,
Plain-
you're in a pocket dimension, right? That's what this
Yes.
thing is. Okay. As you sit in your pocket dimension, you can feel the ground beneath you, the floor of the pocket dimension, grow hot. Nothing is supposed to usually affect this. Whatever that is, whatever was happening, that reaction, is slightly affecting it. Whether it's going to get worse or not, you're not sure. But I will say, whatever is happening is affecting your other dimension that is located right there near it.
Well,
Yeah, this is
Anyway.
very potent, whatever this is.
I'm gonna now, since we're in a different dimension, I'm gonna plane shift us to the balcony of the Dusk Keep in the normal plane.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, yep, you're technically in a pocket dimension, so you're sure. I'll allow it. Yep, okay, that's fine. A nice little workaround. Very good.
Haha!
Can you get everybody?
Yeah,
1, 2,
me,
3,
Matt.
big boy, 2 Shasuva. Yep, that's enough. Because you can get up to 8 or 9 creatures, I think, right?
Mhm.
So you all hold hands, and as the ground gets a little warmer and a little warmer, you're like, I don't like that. And you guys vanish. You reappear at in the Dusk Keep kind of throne room, right specifically, because it's your Dusk Keep. You can land wherever you want. Right onto a balcony as you all kind of land there and look. And you look at the city. Brightopolis. A city of innovation, technology, advancements on magic. A city that has created so many interesting marvels. A city that was once ruled by a very powerful wizard who is powerful in magic but not quite in mind.
Ain't that the truth?
And as you see his city, off in the distance, you see a great beam of energy blasting from the center of it straight up. And you see it dissipate. And from the center, you see something rise. Massive. Huge. Crawling and coiling. It looks like, as it floats above the city itself, it looks like a coiled mass of energy and magic. As you can see, it starts to take form and shape. It looks almost humanoid in the way that it looks like it has limbs and sort of a head. And you can see just lightning and arcane energy blasting from it, so powerful and so bright that you can see it from back here. And as you see, it kind of looks around, twirling and coiling and spinning. It folds itself back up into sort of a ball of energy and blasts off out into sort of the western, out to the west, creating a huge explosion behind it, where it blasted from, just decimating what looks like half of the city. Just basically as if it jumped, and wherever it jumped from, the kinetic energy just fucking decimated that, leaving a huge explosion, a massive cloud of dust, as it just, like a bullet, it's gone out into the cosmos.
We left a lot of people in that city. Like Vondus, Kaza, and Corlax.
We'll go look for them. What are we gonna do about that? There's nothing we could have done about that.
Hey, you're not hearing me complain. I didn't care about any of them except for Taza, and I'm just saying, we left a lot of people in that city. Fuck ton of gnolls.
Didn't they say they all died?
Are my gnolls still okay? Wait, are we still in the soul box?
No,
we're
looking out at the city. You're so far away you can't tell. You just saw a
can
massive
tell.
explosion. Oh.
Next time on
Survivor.
Odds or evens? Oh, you don't like that, huh? Odds or evens?
Even.
Even?
Oh, why?
Okay.
No, I believe evens.
Are they alive?
Yes, they're alive.
Is Vondus dead?
You don't know. You can't feel Vondus. No,
Well,
so half of
die.
what you could see is half of the city just fucking explodes. And off goes this great and powerful energy, whatever the fuck that was.
What was the name? Arcus?
Did it go in the direction of the capital?
You heard him say the word Arcath. He said, Arcath cometh.
Cool.
And we will end there as you guys stand on the balcony of the Dust Keep overlooking the decimated Brightopolis.
Job well done.
Well done indeed.
We blew up the city.
Were you expecting us to go that way?
I was not expecting you to try to talk to him.
Nor was I.
I did want to give the opportunity because he's very showboaty
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. I didn't expect you to just cut right to the Radiant Garden. I expected you to go there. But because you were talking to him, out of all the people, he's the smartest, but he was also like the weakest of character. You know what I mean? So of all the champions, he's pretty weak-minded and susceptible to that. That taken into account a bunch of other stuff that you don't know about, I think.
Nope.
Led me to say, yeah, okay. It took a million checks to try to get him there. You had to do it like so. You guys just all are so fucking good at it, and you roll so high. So
Nothing
your
but
rolls
charisma.
were really good too. You were rolling pretty high on that.
I have advantage.
And Esther's is ridiculous.
And
Oh my god, his persuasion's
My
crazy.
charisma is, first of all, it's over the limit. You've made it over
Silver
the limit.
tongue. Yep.
And it's what I do
everything through his charisma.
Mm.
Yeah, you and Esther are a pretty terrifying team of manipulating minds. So,
Aha!
causing one of the champions to not decapitating him like you did with the others, or throwing him off of his own ship, or anything of that nature. You instead made him.
Blow up the city.
You warped his mind.
It's too bad he decided to go
Very
that
fucked
way,
up.
though. Could have gotten him some nice, fun revenge.
He could have joined us.
He
Yeah.
could have joined us.
We don't know if he's dead.
Oh, he's dead.
He's pretty fucking good.
Oh,
So, that's it for today, guys.
Woo.
I will stop
Well
the
done.
recording.
Joining the
This
recording.
was a good one.
Bye.
We'll, bye-bye.
Bye.
Till next time.